like 8 months, calling him, come on, man, you got to sell me these. And
he owned them free and clear.
He was not budgeting.
And he's asking for 500,000 per duplex. And I'm like, where are you coming up with this number?
And we were willing even to offer him the number for terms, and in the end, we were able to secure them. And the exchange is a sort of traditional one. He was unwilling to accept a higher price for terms. So he got a much, much, much lower price for a conventional offer, which we finally made. And that was one of our latest.
So we're getting both of those for $325 each
instead of
when he started at $500.
Wow. What a great deal.
Yeah, and those are triplexes, so there's actually like more potential doors there.
Like, they're non-conforming. We're going to turn each one of those into
Think about this. Like, the average person goes to college, they get a degree, they go and accumulate $100,000 in student loan debt. It takes them 4 to 6 years to accomplish that, and then they go out and they get a job for what you guys got on one house, right? And that money comes in every month, which is great. Then you go and do a triplex, and you're buying them well below market value. Oh my, guys, holy moly. Okay, the other thing too that I really love is that we've got, 1,000 people on here. And those people are always gonna wonder on the pad split stuff. Like on the co-living, they go, well, who manages it? And I'm like, usually you have one of your best tenants that they live there. They're the eyes and the ears that you don't really have to deal with stuff. They're kind of like the house mom or the house dad, so to speak. Thank you for touching on that. The other thing that people are always confused by is they're always confused by the parking situation. Have you had much issues with parking or not really?
Not at all. For one thing, we're lucky in that we do have a lot of parking available, but even so, I think it's important to remember that for a lot of people interested in co-living as a tenant, they may not all have a car. A lot of them don't. So access to public transit, I think, is equally, if not more important than parking availability. And in a lot of these C-class neighborhoods where you frequently find duplexes.
They have bus stops a block away.
Yeah.
The first duplex we had, or the first duplex we got, is basically a double lot. So it has all this extra land for cars to park on. And so we fenced it in, and it created more security, and we turned it into a nice little hangout spot with a grill, and people can park the cars within this boundary. So the rest of the neighborhood, there's a delineated boundary.
And that's the other great thing about that deal is theoretically we could build another duplex on this lot. We haven't taken those measures yet, but it's an option.
Yeah, it's actually, what's interesting about that is like when you know how to find deals like you guys do now, you don't really get motivated to go build a deal when you can just go find one.
Yeah,
exactly. People ask me all the time, like, why aren't you building more? I'm like, because I can find a deal in 14 minutes. Why would I go and build a property? And unless I'm going to build a property and then flip it and make a big chunk of money, I'm not really interested in building and taking a year and a half to build something that I could find in a couple of months, right? Which you guys have really done a great job of. Okay, another question that a lot of people need to hear from somebody other than me. So I appreciate you coming in here. Kyle, like when you guys first joined the community, I'm sure it was like, there's no way sellers will give you 0% seller finance. There's no way this happens, da, da, da. And then you, of course, get these banger deals, which is awesome. So people don't believe me a lot of times when I say, you don't need to worry about the parking. You don't need to worry about the management. Like somebody else will manage the deal for the most part. What is something that you don't like about co-living that people need to hear today for the people that need to hear the negative stuff? There's always somebody in here who's like, but tell me the downside. Is there any negative downside to co-living?
Sometimes I think as you're vetting people, let's say you're the one choosing the people who get to be the renters. As you're vetting people, you're going to get better at finding the people who are compatible with co-living. So let me back up. So for 20 years, jiu-jitsu was our life, like both of us, right? And then 10 of those years, we were running our own jiu-jitsu school, and we were grinding. It was like 6 days a week, 7 days a week. And I had to run every department. I'm hiring and firing salespeople. So I already kind of felt like, the front desk, right? Who like sign people up for memberships and whatever, right? So I already kind of felt like I'm like pretty good at like selecting people, and I can, profile somebody to be like, who's going to be good for it, right? I always make mistakes. I'm always choosing people who don't end up being a good fit. And I feel like I'm getting better at it. But like in the beginning, when we first chose, we were kind of desperate to get people in there. So I chose somebody who is like 30 days sober out of a sober living, who's like, I need a room, right? I was desperate to fill it up. So I put that guy in there.
A week later,
he's like high on drugs. He's pacing back and forth, and he's
yelling.
He's tweaking out on meth, and
you
he's
got
yelling.
other tenants calling you and telling you, "Hey, I got a problem with this
guy."
Yeah,
everybody wants to move out.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the hallmarks of a person who's not well suited for co-living when we're vetting tenants is, I don't know how else to describe it, disagreeableness. So if you're on the phone with them and you're telling them, okay, the method of payment that we accept is Venmo or Zelle or whatever payment portal you're going to use.
I don't like that.
If it's passable, if they give you an argument about pretty much anything, it's kind of a sign that they're not flexible, they're not compatible, they're not going to do well.
The other issue we've had is like the profile of somebody who's like high ego, really like a look at me type person, they tend to be self-focused. You need a profile person who's like almost like avoids conflict, and it like wants to keep the peace, wants to be part of a community, wants to collaborate, and they're very agreeable and quiet.
I think another feature to look for, and I'm like doing it as I speak, is interruptions. So when Kyle's interviewing a prospective tenant,
they'll interrupt you on the phone.
If they talk over him and they're not listening to him and they're just kind of interjecting and they're really just not listening, then that's been something we've noticed is consistent with people who ultimately don't do well.
Makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of people are fearful of the type of tenants that stay in a co-living property. I was speaking at a local Arizona RIA, just a real estate association, and there was about 400 people there that came to listen to me, and I was talking about co-living. And I was breaking down a deal, I was calling agents live, and I was doing all the fun things. And this guy stands up really, really rude, and he says, I don't know why you would want to do co-living. The only type of people that will stay in a co-living property are pieces of crap. And he just says this right in front of this room. Well, here's what's funny. One of my tenants of one of my co-living properties was in the room, and she's a nurse.
Wow.
She stands up, she's in her scrubs, and she says, can I just stop you there? She was so polite. She was not argumentative. She was actually like really forgiving and gave this guy grace. And she said, I just want to show you what a co-living tenant looks like. I'm actually one of Pace's tenants. I've been following him on YouTube. I saw that this was happening today. And she's like, I realize I'm living in Pace's co-living property, but I want to be somebody who owns a co-living property, which is why I'm here. But I'm on my way to my nursing job. I make $120,000 a year. I work a lot of overtime. I don't have children. I don't have a husband. I'm trying to save money to get into the game of real estate and investing. Co-living works for me. And more often than not, I have professionals in my co-living property. Has that been mostly the experience for you guys?
So the number one thing when we're looking at a prospective tenant, the number one concern they have is, who am I going to be living with? And that would be in anyone's mind. Like, I'm going to be moving into this place. Is it going to be people who are weird and bother me and just, am I going to have problems? So that's one of the hurdles to overcome. So I immediately humanize everybody who's there by telling them not like anything like really personal, but just their jobs. I said, so one person works at the hospital. One person does animal rescue. One person works in concierge. I'm actually mentally going through them right now in my head. Concierge at a high-end hotel. One person has their own business. One person helps with homeless shelters, helping people find homes. Another person has their own business with lawn maintenance. And then by the end of it, they're like, man, that felt really good. I feel like I have a better sense of who's living there. And then when they come, I usually am like, hey guys, like we have a new person. Let's welcome them. Let's, make them feel welcome if you end up seeing them. So I think it's just like thinking about it from their perspective, like their concerns. And
And I think you're right. Most people are professionals that are interested in saving money.
That's so true.
Limited family in the area. Also, being in Florida, there are a lot of retirees. There are a lot of older people on a very fixed budget. So one of my biggest success stories is what I call our Golden Girls house. So one of our co-living properties is pretty much retired people or, older people. And, they're a funny little crew. They're all relatively, elderly, and they get along, and it's good for them because they don't have family they can live with. They keep each other company to some extent. They don't have to be best friends, but it's good for them not to be alone. And sometimes one of them will call us on speakerphone, and they're all in the background saying hi, and it's just a really great feeling.
It's hard for me to not get personal with them because that's just part of what I like to do. I like to see people's success story. Like, I want this room to be part of their success story. Like, they're saving money. They're on their way to buying a house. They're on their way to getting a car. And this is part of their journey. And I like seeing that part, and I like rooting for them. And I'm always kind of like, you're doing great. You're doing awesome. But then I also got to pull back because if they don't pay rent, if they don't,
it's not a friendship.
It's not a friendship. So I always got to keep that boundary. So it's always like striking that balance.
But, the other great thing about co-living and finding tenants that are both, people that you really want to see move on to the next stage of their life, as well as making a strong financial decision, is the number of government and private subsidies that can be available for affordable housing. So like one gentleman that we have as a tenant now, we received his information through a local charity that pays first, last, and deposit. And because he was already vetted for them, he'd been in their program for 5 months.
So he's already vetted.
We know he doesn't have a drug and alcohol problem. We know he doesn't have any uncontrolled mental issue because he's already been in their setting for 5 solid months. And, we have some financial backing from the institution, as well as a good, reliable report about the predictability of his behavior.
I said, can we do 3-month term, and because they're going to pay first and last, and they're going to pay the non-refundable deposit that matches the rent. So basically we're getting all 3 months paid for free. And I was like, can we do 3-month terms? And he's like, no. They're like, no, we don't want to do 3 months. We want 6 months.
It's fine. Okay. Yeah.
So we're doing 6 months. But what they told me is that they have $600 million in charity that they're trying to deploy for this purpose. $600 million. And they don't have enough, service workers or whatever?
Yeah, it's like social workers.
Case workers.
Yeah.
They're short on caseworkers, but they're not short on money. And so I was like,
and they're not short on tenants. So we have a member in SubTo. You guys I'll text you guys together. James Brewer in SubTo. He's doing this now. He was doing it with single family and duplexes and triplexes, like where you're at right now. And he goes, he found an organization in Milwaukee that has, same thing, $200-300 million in federal grant money to help out with affordability. So he goes, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go buy an 80-unit multifamily deal, and I'm just going to get these nonprofits to fill the tenants. So I'll introduce you to him, because I think maybe your guys' next step is maybe go to a 20-unit or a 30-unit and do the nonprofit stuff.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
We were trying to do the RV thing because everyone's talking about it. Mobile home parks.
It's very competitive.
Yeah, you see, so I bought like 4 this week with the SubTo members, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's fire.
It's fire. We want one so bad, and that was our next step. And then we were like negotiating with sellers. We got outbid by people doing 31 exchanges. And then I'm like, okay, we're getting shut down because we're trying to pitch terms. Maybe the terms aren't attractive enough, or they're too complicated versus cash. So I was like, let's go back to the first deal that was working for us. That's 6-4
focus on
duplex. And so then we found 4 more.
Yeah.
And that was in a package deal. And we are literally closing like still as we speak.
And we're always trying to temper like how much we want a deal with making sure that it's still a fair deal, because you can want something really badly, but if the numbers don't make sense, it's not a deal. And so as badly as we wanted to get into an RV park, we knew that the way we were being outbid, it wasn't a deal for us. So we had to step back.
Well, the other thing too is like co-living actually really solves a significant problem. And you just were told you got basically access to $300 million. It's like, why not just go and buy 100 properties in Sarasota and Tampa and anywhere like 45 minutes within your area because you have unlimited money now.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
It's free, and that's like in 12 freaking months. Like, how freaking crazy is that, dude?
I know.
The first one was on April 1st.
Yeah, it's really like 8 months because I guess we moved down to Florida and really started looking in February. And so
Wow.
it's been since February. Yeah.
So am I gonna hang out with you guys in Florida when I come through?
Dude, that'd be amazing.
Oh, we would love it.
Okay,
It's
let's do a YouTube video in front of your first duplex.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah, that'd be fantastic.
That's insane.
It's such a great example, and we're so excited
Dude, that's
about it.
crazy.
And then one of the other aspects of this whole deal that we're super excited about is that because we were able to secure the 2 triplexes across the street, we've made really substantial headway in improving the value of the neighborhood.
Yes, because a lot of the
we've done landscaping, we're managing tenants. So whereas before there was undesirables coming and going,
they're biking through the yard, like
we've significantly changed the landscape in a short amount of time, and I see it reflected in the way the other people are upkeeping their yards, and I feel like the value of the neighborhood is coming up as a result of it.
I want to say one more thing. One more thing. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah.
So we have different rooms. One of the rooms has its own bathroom and shower, right? You think, oh wow, that's going to be highly desired. And so it's more money. But the problem is that in this income bracket, most people are either going to an apartment or they want the cheaper room, right? That middle area of like 1,200, 1,150, 1,100, most people are just going to go a little extra and they're going to get the apartment. So actually that room's been the most difficult to fill. So what we did is we took the guy who's running everything, and he's in our room.
Nice room.
We put him in the nicer room
as a concession.
He still pays like
a small
fixed amount, $300 a month, right? I raised the rent, so I raised it to $1,200. I said, hey, we're gonna move you in there. You're gonna pay $300 fixed. You're gonna basically manage it $40 a door, and you're gonna manage across the street too.
As well.
So that'll be.
She's gonna have 24 rooms to manage.
Yeah, 24 rooms to manage. And this guy's like,
he's excited.
He's super excited. He's ex-military. He loves structure. He loves feeling important and like a leader.
He likes keeping order.
He likes walking through with a checklist, and he loves it. And he also sees the problems that are coming from across the street. And he's like, well, am I gonna have to manage those people? I'm like, all those people gotta go. And he's like, are you serious? That's awesome. Like, so
man, isn't this the funnest business to be in?
It's so exciting.
Like, what's cool about it is like it's cool that you guys are getting rich. That's fun. It's nice to be able to see cash flow coming in, and like you guys have new problems you didn't have a year ago, right? Like that's a fun thing, especially for people that come from jiu-jitsu. You're always trying to learn new moves and trying to be more disciplined, and you're always trying to progress. This is one of those things where you have problems today you didn't even think you'd have a year ago, which is a blessing. It's good to get rich, but you're also blessing all of these people's freaking lives. You're blessing the neighborhood. You're improving other neighbors' property values. You guys are like really making a dent on this world, which is freaking cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I forgot to mention our first creative deal was selling the gym.
Oh, yeah, which we also actually owe to you because we have never really thought about the concept of seller finance. And then when we went to sell our gym, it's obviously a very niche type of business.
You need a black belt. You need someone who's good with kids, good with business. Like it's such a niche. So
who also has a lot of money.
I never thought of the problem it would be trying to sell and exit a business like that.
Yeah, the exit strategy was
tough. It's so hard. And we finally found a student who was willing to do it, and we ended up selling that business on seller finance at like 10% interest over 8 years. So that pays us every month. So anyways, we owe a lot to you, and it was all because of this interview that I still am into Grant Cardone. I still respect him a ton. And that's how I found out about you. I saw this interview with you and him years ago. And you were talking about like subject to, and his jaw was on the floor. And I was like, what is this voodoo? Right. And
what is the secret sauce here?
So then I got into SubTo, and I just started learning, and I didn't want to make any moves in Virginia because I knew we were always going to go back to Florida. So we waited, just education,
watching the videos.
And then as soon as we hit to Florida, we started just getting to work.
Guys, I'm so impressed and look forward to a new relationship with you guys as well. Kyle, thank you for DMing me, dude. Really appreciate that.
Thank you, man.
No, we're very grateful. And we definitely want to make
okay, so
more
you guys
connections.
are in Sarasota, which means I'm doing a Tampa meetup, not a Sarasota meetup. I did a Sarasota meetup 2 years ago, but you must not have been in the community at the point.
Yeah, we weren't there.
Okay,
I don't
cool.
think
Well,
we're
guys,
too good.
I planned on having you here for 10 minutes, and this was 40 minutes of straight fire.
Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Are
This
we
is great.
carried
This is
away?
people. The thing is, people don't believe me. It's the same thing like when you watch me and Grant Cardone, and you're watching me educate Grant Cardone on creative finance. It's like, that doesn't sound real. That sounds like a scam. Meanwhile, you join the community, you sell your gym on creative finance at 10%, mind you, freaking amazing. Then you go out and you gobble up real estate, right? That deal, and your first creative deal on, at least real estate wise, you get principal only. Like, everybody on the planet is complaining about what the Fed is doing, and you're like, yeah, watch me, hold my Diet Coke. I'm gonna go get a 0% interest seller finance deal. Bro, Kyle and Tammy, I'm so proud of you guys. Let's hang out really, really soon. Kyle, I'm gonna text you and James Brewer together, okay?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank
you.
you so much.
Hold on, stay here, hold on. I wanna turn the side chat on. Can everybody in the side chat today say congratulations to everybody? Let's see, can I turn this on? Why is the chat off, Carly?
See a lot of emojis.
Carly, can you turn the chat on real quick? I don't know why the chat is turned off. That's freaking weird.
What is that? Like is it a 3-minute mile or whatever?
The 4-minute mile.
It was like broken after someone believed.
Yeah,
it could be
Roger, what's his name? There you go. Look at the side chat. Congratulations, guys. All these people, 1,000 people came in here to congratulate you on being just badasses and changing your lives.
Amazing.
Freaking amazing.
But what I mean is, you were that 4-minute mile for us, because if you say, hey, principal only is possible, these things are possible, then it opened it up as like, okay, let's shoot for that.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have shot for that. Would not have happened.
Guys, I'm so pumped. Look forward to being your friend. Thank you.
Thank you, man. That was incredible.
Have a good day, guys. I'll text you, Kyle, when I'm done here today. I'll text you and James Brewer together so you guys can jam and become buddies. Thank you guys so much. Wow, you gotta freaking love that story. By the way, did they answer a bunch of questions for you guys as well, where it's like the parking situation? It's nice to hear it from other managers of properties. Also, this whole belief of like 0% interest. Can I do it too? Are there enough deals? All of those things. I feel like we should just end the training today. What do you guys think? Should we just end the training today? Just be done with it? It's so great. By the way, anybody in SubTo, anybody that's in the SubTo community, obviously Kyle and Tammy are in SubTo. He sends me a text today and he's like, hey, I just want to let you know this community changed my life. And I was like, come on here, let's talk about your story. And for those of you guys in SubTo, I want you guys to know that next month we are doing a co-living in-person training. How many people in here prefer to learn in person? In person, you want to jam together in person, you want to do deals in person. Give me, say, in person. Amazing. So I'm doing this really cool bonus for SubTo members, people in our private community. Next month, we're going to be doing deals for a whole week together. And you will be setting appointments for me. I will be closing the deals live, all in person. So you'll set appointments for me. I will show you how to close them. I'll show you where the leads come from, which we've done, but it's just different, right? Like, it's really interesting. I want to show you guys actually something. Do I have co-living agreements? Yes, I give those to my SubTo members. Thank you so much. I do give those to all the SubTo members. Okay, let's go into the free Facebook group. I made a post yesterday. And I want to point something out of where everybody in here is going to struggle, okay? I made a post yesterday. I think this is the post. I made a post yesterday in the free Facebook group, which you guys are all, I believe everybody in here is a member of. If you're not, go join it. Let me give you a copy paste here. And you should join this Facebook group. It's our free Facebook group. And I made a post. I said, honesty post. I use money from my own deals. There I said it, blah, blah, blah. It's a great post. But then I was down in the comments, looking at the comments, okay? And there was a gal on here that says, let's Let's see, I use my own, should have been taught in school. There's a, okay, that's not it. It must be right here. Okay, boom. I think she said it right here. Gosh, dang it. I can't remember where the comment was. Might have been here too. Oh, I know what it was. She made a post in the Facebook group. So she made this post in the Facebook group and she said, this co-living training with PACE has been incredible. I just don't know where to start. So what I want to do today is I want to show you guys kind of a rehearsal of what I did on Monday, just for about 10, 15 minutes. And then I have a couple of leads that actually came into me today that I want to work on. And I want to show you guys why I like these deals and what you should like about these deals as well. And then I'll also remind you guys of the multiple ways to make money, because a lot of people in here will be reminded, or they'll stress out and go, oh my gosh, I'm not ready to own a property. I just need 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand. I need to find a deal for somebody else. Okay. We will talk about that again today as well. All right. And anyway, she makes this comment. She says, I'm in the training with PACE. It's been so incredible. Oh my gosh, I paid somebody like $30,000 for real estate mentorship and I learned more from PACE in 2 days than I did in a whole year with these other people. And PACE is doing this for free. This is incredible. I just don't know where to start. Okay, cool. So if you don't know where to start, I think that there's a common thing that all human beings deal with. For example, if I go make a YouTube video all about Maddie, the homeless person. She's not homeless anymore, but let's say I go make a YouTube video about Maddie. And I take Maddie off the street by teaching her what I'm teaching you guys. So let's go PACE, Morby, homeless, okay? You will see that I have a series of videos right here. Maddie, 136,000 views. People in the comments will literally say, I don't know where to start. If you are one of these people that watch a video, jump in a training, you read a book, you do a thing, and literally I can show you where to start right now. Watch, I'll show you where to start. Watch, take notes. I'm gonna show you exactly where to start. You are still not gonna do anything about it. There's a specific personality type. I'm one of them. Okay, if I go to Deal Sauce, which is my favorite software for finding deals, I go to Deal Sauce right now. I'm gonna find a deal right now. Okay, look, I went to Deal Sauce. I'm showing you where to start. I'm going to click on residential. That's the second place to go. Then, my friends, we're going to go to Maricopa County, which is an area I like. Maricopa County. That's just an area I like. This works in every single market, so do not ask that question, please, because we've already answered that on Monday. I already know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that have low equity, means that I can just take over their payments. It's an active listing. Maybe it's in foreclosure. There's 38 people, foreclosure, low equity, active listing, 38 people right there. That's where I start. I start right here. Okay, ooh, this one's good. Foreclosure, absentee owner, status change. It's low equity, active listing. Let's go here. Awesome. Wells Fargo Bank, Scott Stone, residential, okay. Unit 1, okay. This is probably a great co-living property. Check this out. The heck? This is reduced for immediate sale. Large single family dwelling, features 6 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1 room detached. Okay, there you go. Should I call? Hold on, let's call right now. You see, can I get a yes that you understand how fast it is to start? Can I just get a quick yes in the side chat? Give me a yes. Don't ever ask that question of where to start. Don't ask that question again. It's not the proper statement. It's just not the proper statement. You know where to start. That's not the problem that you're having. The problem you're having is that you need help. You need help. Do we agree with this? You need help going through it. I'm afraid. I know I watched PACE do it, but I need to be in person. Stop saying I don't know where to start. That is the most, it stresses me out. It makes me feel like I didn't show you. It makes me feel like I did not show you how to do the thing and do the thing and do the thing. I've done that 1,000 times. That's not true. Never ever say I don't know where to start, because that's a lie. Okay? What you need to say is I need help. I need to be in a physical room with other people doing the deals together. That's what I need. I need somebody holding my hand. I know how to start. I just need help. Okay, can I get a yes that we all agree with this? Stop saying you don't know where to start. I just showed you 3 steps. It took me 30 seconds. You don't need help with knowing where to start. You need help on keeping going. You need help on getting your first deal done. You need help on holding your hand. You need help with somebody picking up the phone when you're stuttering. You need help. Do we agree? Give me a yes. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Give me all the yeses. Okay. So for those of you guys that are in SubTo, next month, I'm inviting everybody to the office to do deals together live, just like this. I will, next month, this is what we'll do. I will teach you in the very beginning how to set appointments for me and other high-level members in SubTo. And you can just set an appointment. Instead of worrying about overcoming objection or comping a property, I will get you into taking action right out of the gate. I will then close the deals for you right in front of you, so you'll see where the lead came from. You'll be the one that sets the appointment for me to talk to them. I will do all the hard, heavy lifting in front of you, and then by the end of the week, I will be passing those calls to you after you've been trained. Give me a yes that you want to be in the room for that. Who wants to be in the room for something like that? Cool. That's why our community is going to do $75 billion in transactions this year. This is why our community is winning, where everybody else is slowing down on real estate. We are speeding up. We are winning, not only because of creative finance, yes, but because we are an actual community helping each other out, okay? Tony says, I got my flight, dog. Got my flight. Cool. All right, so let's call these people. They have a do not call, but I'm just gonna call them right now. The problem is residential real estate agents rarely actually pick up the phone. So let's see what we can do.
Hello, you've reached Jeff Miller with Fathom Realty Elite. I can't answer your call right now, but please leave a message and I will call.
Okay, so like I said, real estate agents rarely answer their first call. Now there's a difference, right? If I call a broker, somebody who's been in the business a long time and doing big deals, they pick up their phone every time. Surprise, surprise. Residential real estate agents don't pick up the phone. So what we typically do is we'll call them, then we'll text them and say, hey, I just called. I was calling about such and such. I'm available for the next 45 minutes. Let me know. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm giving you the steps. For those of the people that like the steps, I'm giving you the steps, okay? Texting this guy right now saying, hey, my name, I'll say, hey, I think his name is Jeff. My name is Jeff. Yeah, his name is Jeff. Hey, Jeff. My name is Pace. Calling about, let's see, the property 1312. I already showed you the property. I'd like to show you it again, but when I'm on these free trainings, I always run into somebody who's not in my community that is just an absolute animal, just a horrible dude, will call and mess with these leads while I'm trying to work and show you guys how to do this. This is why I rarely do live calls on YouTube anymore, is because there's always somebody that is here to ruin it for everybody else. And so I'll pop it up there, but I'll pull it back off while I'm calling. So I just sent him a text. Hey, Jeff, my name is Pace, calling about Sunland Avenue. I'm going to go back and we're going to look at some other deals. I will pull it up again. So guys, again, where do I start? I want to get a house that's going through some tough times. Okay, I want to go find houses that are having a hard time selling. So let's go back. We're going to go to Maricopa County again. That's where I like to invest. We're going to then pull up the filter. Absentee owner. No, the ones I like is I like low equity. I like active listings. Let's see. I don't want those. Okay, so low equity, active listing. Let's let it refresh. That's not true. My internet's a little bit slow in this hotel, guys. I apologize. Okay, cool. So we've got this filter, low equity, active listing, and then also foreclosure, which only gives me 38. So the place you start is you start calling on properties that fit the criteria you're looking for. I'll go through why I like some of these ones. 1892 square feet. I like the first one. That's the one I just called and texted about. Okay, I like this one because it has at least 1,500 square feet. It already has 6 beds. Okay, it's already zoned for multifamily. That's a deal. They're also in foreclosure. They have long days on market, and it is actively listed. Okay, this one also, let's see, the second one I like because it's 2,600 square feet. You can see it's kind of ran down. They're not taking care of the property. Right, all these weeds are growing in the driveway. I'm sure that's pissing off the neighbors. This property definitely is ready to go. Like, this is a property I should call on. Or we should call him. Let's call him. Okay, Jason Paulus. Oh, I know Doug. Doug's one of my good friends. Okay, let's go to, I don't know Jason, but I know his boss. Doug. Doug's a good friend of mine. We are members of the same country club. That sounds like an elitist thing, but it's just so you know, it's like a hillbilly country club. See, 623. I'm going to text him ahead of time. Hey, Jason, this is Pace. Wondering about what's the property? Peoria, 1134 West Peoria. So I'm going to text him first, typically, and the reason for that is because I want, and I'm going to call him now, I want my phone to suggest my name when it calls.
Hi, this is Jason Paul. Sorry, missed your call.
Okay, what did I say about real estate agents that are residential real estate agents? They rarely pick up the phone. You will run into that over and over and over in your career. It's fine. You text them, you call them, you wait for them to call you back. It's all good. It doesn't mean they're bad people. It means they're just busy. Okay, so let's keep doing this.
What up, Bobby?
Fernando, what's up, brother?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Hey, I'm calling about Orange Drive in Phoenix.
Sure.
I've got for Orange Drive I'm looking at, and then I got another one. I don't know if this one's across your desk at all today, but I've got another one I'm looking at. I need to get a co-living property under contract. I've got a nonprofit company needs me to fill some tenants up. This property in Orange Drive seems like it'd be a really good co-living property. Have you talked to your sellers about doing any creative finance on this?
To do the seller finance, actually, yeah, it's something we really considered about it, and
How long have you had the listing?
and everything ready for that. So I'm just waiting for if we're going to that route. Definitely, I can send it to you.
Okay, is there any way I can talk to the sellers and help you get the deal done?
It's me.
Oh, you're the seller.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would hold you up from doing it? Like, why don't we just strike a deal?
Oh, because I prefer to sell it, brother.
Oh, it makes sense. So you've had it listed for a little bit.
Oh yeah, because actually I just filled up on 2 weeks ago because the buyer goes down and FICO score and needs more money to close, so that was
sucks.
and I offer her at that moment the option, but for 5 years And then she say, no, I need a 30 years. I said, no.
What did you offer her? You offered.
I will wrap up my loan to them. You see my point?
Yeah, that makes sense. What was your offer to them?
What was the offer?
Yeah.
That was 40.85 at that time.
Okay, got it. And you were giving them 5 years as an option?
5 years, yes, sir.
And it was a lease option or like a 5-year SubTo with a 5-year
No,
balloon?
it's basically a wrap up subject to 5 years.
Okay, why don't you do that to me?
Yeah, because we decided, actually, always we said to sell first. So I'm dealing with a couple of offers today. So let me see what happened this week. If not, definitely I call you back and say, hey, this is the terms.
Okay.
If you have a buyer point, let's go forward.
Okay, let me ask you a couple questions then. It sounds like we won't strike a deal today, which is cool, no problem. This is a house you currently own, right?
Right.
And you just don't want to own this particular property, or are you trying to get out of rentals altogether?
Actually, I want to get out of the property, totally.
Okay, cool. And this one,
and actually at the same point now, because let me tell you what I decide to do.
okay,
After this fallout. I say, okay, I will keep it and I will rent it out and I will get an equity partner on it. That was my first step. And if I sell it, good. If not, I will keep it and get an equity partner. If not, the last option for me is the seller to do the wrap up.
okay, got it. And when's your timeline to make that decision?
Definitely I will do this week.
Okay, got it. So if your cash offers don't come in where you want them, you and I could then strike a deal.
Definitely we can do something to that. Huh?
Okay, so your price right now on a cash offer is, what was it, 450?
No, actually, I sent it over for 470.
Okay.
And I got an offer for 450. I don't know if it was you or somebody else.
It was my team, yes. But I was working.
And I say 460.
Okay.
And I will move forward on 460, definitely, yeah.
Okay, 460. All right, so if I do a 460 loan, I'm going to call my bank real fast. I'm going to see if I can make that work. I think you already know I always want to get into a deal with no money out of my pocket, and sometimes I
no worry, man. I understand.
I got to get it furnished and all that kind of stuff. Did you do this to flip it, or what'd you do?
No. I was doing co-living on that one.
Oh, why did you stop? Co-living's freaking awesome.
Because I'm ready off from all my co-living, so I will have to. That's the last one actually. Because I'm moving to a different model. I'm moving to just 3 or 4 doors per house.
Okay.
But a long term. Because the co-living is good. I did it from scratch. That's what it means. I create everything, the legal stuff and promoting the rules and all the whole enchilada, brother.
You were managing the tenants and everything.
And the thing here is, it's a good business, brother. The thing is, I do it my stress on my hand because I want to be all the boots on the to know exactly what's going on.
Yep.
So it is good business, but the property management, that's the
that you don't want to do that.
That's the work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So pad splits can work with that, but pad splits just only 2 people in it, right?
Yeah.
But you still in charge of the cleaning of every single move out and move in, and whatever happens to the property. That's the point that I say, oops, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So if it's a good business, if you have a 10 plus properties like this,
yeah,
that way you have your own office and team, management the properties, management the people, and the ins, outs, and whatever. And that definitely, it's a business.
You are going to go to a smaller model then.
Yeah, I'm going to the model where I can be hands-free. Like it's at the same house. For example, in this case, the orange one.
Yeah.
I was renting the house per room. There are 4 bedrooms and 2 baths.
Yeah.
I was renting the studio, and I was renting the little apartment. So basically, I have 6 renters, right, in that property.
Yeah.
So, and I switched it after that. I decided to move forward. So, you know what? It's a lot of crazy work in order to put more people on it. Every single 3, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months is too variable. And because I was there myself, I didn't use pad split. So I have a good relation with them, but they charge a lot of money for the same way I was doing it.
Yeah.
The reason I was doing it is because I want to see what is the realistic thing about you having paper when you think it's going to happen with the real thing is happening. daily basis.
Yeah.
So, and they charge a lot of money, actually.
Yeah,
And it's fine.
they
It's
changed their
fair.
model, yeah.
It's their model, but the only thing they do is just bringing people, but not management of the property.
Yeah. When are you, or what else are you doing besides rentals? Are you doing some wholesale and some fix and flip?
Yeah, hotels and some fix and flip, not too many. I prefer to get properties and split it and then sell it.
What do you have that I
plans
can?
And sell it as a plans.
Do you have anything that I could flip right now? Do you have any wholesale stuff I could buy?
Yeah, I can send it to you. One deal is my client's deal.
Okay.
And basically that's the one that I have so far. I'm talking about my deal. And because I'm more wholesale than wholesale, you see?
Yes, sir. Makes sense.
And this property, the orders we're talking about, it's after they say, okay, you know what, I'm moving to I was renting to 3 doors instead, 7 doors, 6 doors, sorry. Looking for long-term rentals,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what works better?
Yeah.
Less money works better.
It's definitely better for your personality, I think. Right?
Right, what I'm looking for, yes, because
Yeah.
because that way I can put it to a property management company.
Yeah.
For the long terms, that means and be hands free on it.
Makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, when can I call you back to get the deal done?
Let's go and talk on Monday.
Okay, Monday. I'll shoot you a text on Monday.
All right, sounds like a plan. So, yeah, but the 460 will work. I prefer a lot to sell it.
Okay, and do you have a mortgage on it right now, or do you own it with cash?
Oh yeah, I have a mortgage on it.
How much is the mortgage?
The payment?
Yeah.
$2,500.
Okay, and
It's interest only for 10 years, so now it's I think I have 8 years on it.
okay, got it. And you've got what was the down payment you were looking for?
At that time was 94,000.
Okay.
So, but let me see what is the money I can go.
Okay, you want to just tell me on Monday?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I prefer the cash offer like I use it.
Okay, I'll work on the cash offer right now.
All right, man.
Okay.
What you need from me, whatever you need for the property, let me know.
Okay, thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you, man. Keep
All right,
in
bye-bye.
touch.
Okay, so let me give you a little context of this. So this is so cool. I want to kind of walk you through a flow here. So this property actually came to me today from Maddie Richards, the homeless lady that I helped in April. She sent me a deal this morning in my email. She found another property online, just like I showed you guys today. I showed a homeless lady how to do this. I imagine she's doing this from her phone. She does not have a laptop, so she's doing this from her phone. She found that opportunity and another opportunity for me. She sent them to me. Now, Maddie's not good at being on the phone like I am yet, right? So what Maddie does is she brings me these opportunities, and when I buy them, I pay her $5,000 or $10,000, depending on how good the deal is. So she's getting paid what's called a bird dog fee, right? So she would get paid a finder's fee. I would basically do the majority of the work, right? She brings the opportunity. I have the discovery call. I do the negotiations. I am the one that buys the property. When I buy the property, I pay her, let's say $5,000, $10,000, whatever it may be. And she just has to be the one that's bird dogging or going out into the world and finding these people. Now, I don't know Fernando. It sounds like I do, but I treat every conversation I have like I know them, okay? So I send him a text before I call them. I said, hey, my name is Pace. That's why he said, hey, Pace. He doesn't know me. I don't know him. We've never done a deal together before. He's not in my phone whatsoever. It sounds like that because I texted him beforehand. I pulled up his contact information from Deal Sauce. The listing is there. He's had the property listed for over 100 days, so it's the same thing. Long days on market, listed with a real estate agent. Means I'm going to call the real estate agent and see if there's a deal to be made, okay? And here's what'll happen. I want to give you guys kind of the mindset that you have to have when you're like, where do I start? What do I do? Let's create the tools that you need, what you're going to need to have in your pocket in order to get these deals done. Okay, if I open up the side chat, can we all promise we're not going to be wild and start promoting ourselves? This is a free 4-day challenge, and I like having the chat on, but the problem is I can't control the wild human beings that are not in my community, which is about 950 people out of the 1,100 are not inside my community, and they just want to promote their stuff. I don't care who you are. Can we all agree? Can I get thumbs up? We're not going to sit there and promote our stuff. We're not going to be spending the chat there. I want to ask a couple of questions and make sure we're understanding my questions. And it's nice for me to see a confirmation in the side chat so I can keep moving forward, okay? All right. Carly, I'm going to turn the side chat on. If you see people promoting, I don't care if it's even my grandmother, kick them out. Immediately kick them out, okay? I don't need them promoting their thing or their deal or their such and such or whatever. We're staying on topic. Do not even ask any silly questions about, Pace, will you look at my deal? No, I'm staying on topic. People are here to learn from me. Today's day number 3, okay? We're not going off topic. Thank you. The chat is open. There you go. So here is the first thing that you're gonna need. How many people in here are a deal finder? You're not a deal keeper, okay? So number 1 would be deal finder. Number 2 would be deal keeper. Put the side chat in there. You're 1, you're a deal finder. You're 2, you're a deal keeper, okay? You're gonna see that the majority, 70 to 80% of people are gonna be deal finders. They're like, I wanna help find the opportunity. I'm not ready to keep the opportunity. Those people can make $5, $10, $15, $20,000 just bringing the opportunity to that person. You can do this once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. I have a student of mine last night. I saw him in our meetups. I was at Washington, D.C. last night. And he says, my first year I worked with you, Pace, I made $300,000 being a deal finder for other members in the community. This year I did $1 million in revenue. $1 million in revenue, okay? So what is the first thing you're gonna need? Does anyone want to share fees with Deal Sauce? See what I'm saying? Y'all lunatics in the side chat. Okay, so he did $1 million. Deal keeper, you're out, bye. If you promote yourself, you promote your links, you promote your stuff, you're getting kicked out immediately. I can't verify or vet anybody that's in here. So what happens a lot of times is people go, hey, I'm looking for money. And then they go and scam somebody because I don't know 950 of the people in here. And then I get a DM from somebody on Instagram and go, this guy took 10 grand from me. I met him in your side chat on Zoom. Guys, do not promote your links. Do not promote your cell phone. Do not promote any of your stuff. I will kick you out. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna need, if you are brand new, you're gonna say, I don't know where to start. That's not true. Never say that again. You know exactly where to start. What you need, the first thing you need, who is new in here? Brand new. You've never made a call. You've never negotiated. You've never done a deal. Say new in the side chat. New or me. One of those two is perfectly fine. Okay? Awesome. Every single one of you guys needs this one thing. I want you guys to type it in the side chat, okay? I want you to type it in the side chat. You need a SubTo buyer. You need a SubTo buyer, somebody who's verified in my community, somebody who's been in the community for 2+ years, somebody who is a buyer who can do the following things. You need a SubTo buyer. That is the first thing you need to start with. Why? Because that SubTo buyer is going to tell you what co-living property, what city, what neighborhood, what size, what type of deals they're looking for, all of those things, okay? They are going to be the ones that get on the phone for you. They're going to be the ones that help you overcome the objections. They're going to be the ones that actually help you structure the deal. They're going to be the ones that actually help you out with the paperwork, okay? I'll give you a really great point with this. This happens every single week with us in our community, hundreds and hundreds of times per week. I've already shown this photo a couple of times, but I'll show it again because it shows a really perfect example. And this will feel so simplified once I explain it to you guys, and the reason being is because it should. Everything you learn should be simplified and dumbed down so you can understand it. So this girl right here in the pink, okay, I will show you her face too so you guys can put a name to a face. This girl in pink is Robin. Okay, Robin is from Oklahoma. She's a brand new SubTo member. She just joined my community not too long ago in our private community. Here is what she looks like at this awesome property. I'll pull it up in just a second. It takes me a second when I don't have a mouse. I got to do it with my little dilly whack. So here is Robin. Robin was on a free training just like this with me in July. Okay, so once a month I do a free training for my YouTube audience, my Facebook group. It's completely free. Obviously today is day 3. We have 1,100 people on Zoom. We also have a couple hundred people on YouTube as well. So about 1,300 people every single month learn from me for 4 days straight. You guys have all obviously gotten a lot of value. Otherwise you wouldn't be back here 3 days in a row, right? So Robin decides I'm going to join SubTo. Now what I do is once a month, I bring my members to my office and I pair them up with higher level members that have been in the community for 2 or 3 years. You guys remember Adam, he was here yesterday. How many people enjoyed having Adam on here yesterday? Was Adam awesome yesterday? Okay, cool. I think we talked about Adam or Robin just a little bit, but I just want to kind of go through the cadence and what the missing link is. So Robin is a single mom. For the longest time, multiple years, she says, I'm going to get started in real estate, but I don't know where to get started. I need to make changes in my life. I need to make significant money in my life. I need to change my circumstances, but I don't know where to start. I told her the same thing I'm telling you right now. It's not about where you start. It's who you're doing it with. Are they trained? Do they know what they're doing? Have they done deals before? Are they vetted? Are they going to protect you? Are they going to walk you through the deal? Are they going to get on the phone call and get, overcome the objections, structure the deal? And are they going to pay you for the deal that they find? Okay. So what I did is once a month as a bonus, I invite my SubTo members to my office. Okay. A couple of hundred of them come into my office. This next one is basically already booked out. I think we have like 85% of the spots are completely full. And what I do is I bring high-level SubTo members with brand new SubTo members, and I teach the brand new SubTo members to bring opportunities to the advanced ones. And for a week, we work on doing deals with each other. Now, at the time, what we ended up doing is we were at the time in that month, we were doing multifamily. We were doing a multifamily challenge. And so what ended up happening is Robin called a broker on a multifamily apartment right here. Robin brings it to Adam. Adam then comes to me. We partner on the deal. Robin got paid 10 grand for finding that deal. Adam and I are partners on that deal. And then Heidi, who's over here on my left, your right, Heidi is my asset manager. She travels around the country and gets these assets up and going. So that is the number one thing you're missing, because I can show you deal sauce. I can show you how to generate the lead. I can show you how to have the conversation with the agent or the seller. And you already know, and I'm going to go through the numbers with you, but you already know everything that I'm telling you right now. You already know it. You know you should be making calls. It's like when people go, Pace, I've been trying to get deals for so many years. I've been really trying to get in the business. I'm like, no, you have not, because you can get a deal in 45 minutes. It's not hard. It's not challenging. It's not like 7 months of work. It is literally, I just had a phone call with a guy and he's like, yeah, I'll sell to you on terms. I'll sell to you and let you make payments to me. You can this guy already turned that property into a co-living property. He already turned it into a co-living property. He just doesn't know how to manage. He doesn't want to use pad split. He wants to do it himself. And so he's bothered with it. So he's going and saying, I'll let you take over my $2,500 monthly payment. Okay, let's do the math on this just real quick, okay? That property I just called on, which you just watched, I pulled a list. I looked for the name. I texted the agent. Hey, I'd like to talk to you. I get on the phone with him. Hey, will you do seller finance? He says, well, let me talk to the seller. I'm like, okay, well, and then it turns out he is the seller. He tells me he is the seller. You watch the whole call happen. The whole call. You watch the whole call. Don't tell me you don't know what to do. Telling me you are afraid of doing it and you don't know what to do next is perfectly appropriate, but you know you need to go out and make calls. Here is the math. I want to kind of math out for you guys, okay? And I'm going to pull up a spreadsheet so you guys can see how that deal would be done. I want to go through and kind of show you that deal, and I'll tell you why I like it, how it would be structured, why is he having a hard time, and high chance is somebody on here is just going to steal the deal from me because I'm showing it to a YouTube audience. Okay, here's the deal. Okay, it's listed on the market. Fernando is the agent. $515,000 is what he has it listed for. He already said he'd take $460. I don't buy things with banks, and so I'm not even going to try to go to the bank. I'm going to sit around and wait till Monday for me to follow up with him. He's got 6 beds, 4 baths, 2,194 square feet. Why is that such a good deal for me? Because I know I can turn this into a 10 bed or an 8 bed, and I'll show you the math on this in just a second. Let's look at the photos. Okay, it's already renovated. Okay, cool, cute, love it. Hard floors, tile, no carpet. I like that. Nice little communal area. I could probably turn this little living room into a bedroom. Okay. I know I can get 7, maybe 8 bedrooms in here very, very easily. Okay. Cool kitchen. Love it. Bathroom. That's a big bedroom. Awesome. 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 Look at this. He's got TVs everywhere. Everything's already set up. Look at this. This is a deal I just called off on Deal Sauce. It's not that hard, guys. Okay, cool. He's got a tile shower, really inexpensive stuff. He'll probably even leave the furniture for me. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Now remember, if you're the person that found the deal, Maddie, who brought the lead to me, okay, she'll get paid. Maddie, if I can turn this into an 8 bed, Maddie will probably get paid 10 grand. Okay, let's see here. All right, love it. Basic backyard, low maintenance. This guy's already done the renovation for me. Okay, love it. Now, what do I like about the deal? Let's go into the math of the deal, okay? Let's go into the math of the deal, and I'll see if I can just kind of break this down for you guys and show you why I like it. 39th, is it 39th? Copy. Recent, there you go. Okay, love it. Myrtle numbers. So let's go through this property, and I'll tell you exactly how I would structure this. And I'm going to go through the numbers with you. The first and foremost, does everybody understand? Maddie goes on Deal Sauce. Maddie finds agents who are having a hard time selling the property. She then finds houses that are low equity and they're sitting on the market for over 100 days. She finds those. She then compares those to, is it big enough? Can I rent it out on co-living? I know Pace is looking for co-living because I'm her SubTo buyer. She then sends me the link and says, hey, what do you think about this? Okay. Does everybody understand where this lead came from? Give me a yes. Cool. Does everybody understand that Maddie will make between $5,000 and $15,000? Well, Pace, why is it $5,000, $10,000, or $15,000? Well, because I haven't finished structuring the deal yet, right? I haven't walked the property yet. I don't know how good of a deal it is. Yes, Maddie is in SubTo now, okay? Thank you. So Maddie, why do you look for low equity? Susie, you showed up late. Why do I look for low equity? Great question, Susie. Susie Rogers, how you doing? Susie Rogers.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Susie, are we live today?
I guess so. You're talking to me.
There we go. Okay, cool. So Susie, let me tell you why I like low equity. Everybody has a hard time jumping into real estate for a couple of reasons. The number one reason is because they don't have money, right?
Right.
So if you don't have money, then how are you going to buy real estate?
Other people's money.
Okay. So who is the best person for me to borrow money from?
Investors, I think.
That's not even number two.
The buyer, the owner.
Number one person right here. The
Okay.
number one person I want to borrow money from are the sellers of the property.
Okay.
How do I borrow money from the sellers of the property? Here's how I do it. I take over their bank loan.
Gotcha.
So if the seller, okay, Susie, if the seller owes, let's say $460,000 on the house, okay, that's what they owe to the bank. And they're trying to sell the house for $470,000. How much equity does this person have?
Oh, 10,000. Wow.
They don't even have 10,000, Susie. Do you know why?
Oh, the cost of
There you go. So
selling.
if they sold the house for 470, don't they have to pay one agent? Don't they have to pay another agent? Don't they
Correct.
have to pay title company, escrow
Right.
officer? Don't they have like 7 or 8 people actually have to get paid on this transaction?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so
That's
how
right.
much equity do they actually have?
Zero or negative. They're negative, maybe.
Negative $30,000, Susie.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm looking for low equity, what that means, Susie, is that I will find people like Fernando that will just go, here's the keys to my house. I
Wow.
don't just take the house. Did you hear Fernando says he'll give me terms?
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm.
He told me, he said I could just take over his $2,500 monthly payment.
Well, yeah, I got you. I
So do
got
we
you.
understand why we're looking for low equity?
Yeah, yeah. And now question though. So do
Yeah.
you pay all the fees and everything because he was
What
negative?
fees?
So I mean, like you were saying, the commissions to the agents, title, escrow, whatever else, all the
There
fees
is
you
no fee,
mentioned.
there is no fees when I'm using creative finance. I'm not gonna, there is no agent representing me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see what you mean.
We're doing a deal directly. So we kick 2 real estate agents out in that situation. Now, Susie, hang with me for about 10 minutes, okay? Because I'm gonna walk through and answer the rest of that question, okay?
Okay.
So let's say that I do this deal on Orange Blossom, okay? The deal that I just showed you guys on Orange Blossom. Let me pull it up real quick and let's see here. Give me a second, guys. Sorry, when I'm on my lap, you guys know, if anybody's hung out with me long enough to know, I don't usually do lives like this on my laptop. I do them on my nice big studio at home. So the property we're looking at, Susie, can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, cool. So here's the property. Do you understand why I like this property?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, sure.
Cool. So I can rent
Even
out, I
parking
can
is great too. Uh-huh.
parking's good, even though parking's not really an issue in co-living. I guess if you're new, you think it is. So I guess this is cool. You just got a bunch of gravel. I don't really have any landscape. Welcome to Arizona, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna buy this property for, let's say, $460,000. Where is that money going to come from?
Well, you said the seller is you're
There you
gonna
go. It says
take
it.
over.
Here's
Yeah.
the answer right here. The seller's loan. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just gonna take over the seller's loan, okay? Take
Right.
over the seller's loan. So do you see how I get that money?
Yeah. Yeah.
No money really exchanges hands, but that's where the money comes from. I just start making the payments instead of him. Okay,
Wow.
the closing costs on this will be about $4,600. Okay, let's talk about where will that money come from. I will go to a SubTo lender, somebody that's in the SubTo community that will bring me this money. We call these people private money partners, or sometimes we call them private money lenders. Okay, private money partner would come in when you're newer and they'll just partner with you on the deal and probably take half the equity. Okay, I will pay myself probably 20 grand, and I'll pay Maddie 10 grand. So I'm going to throw $30,000 in here for the acquisition cost, okay? Acquisition fee. Following me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, this property doesn't need any setup because it's already been set up and it's already basically been renovated. So I'm just going to
Yeah.
put $1,000 in here for cleaning. I'm going to put like $2,500 in here for miscellaneous stuff. Okay, so I need right here, you see this in the lower right-hand corner, this number, this green number?
Uh-huh. What is it though? I can't, it's very small. 30,000?
38, are you on your phone?
No, but no. But I need my glasses.
Okay, no worries, no worries. So I need $38,100 for this property, okay? That will pay me 20 grand in my pocket, and that will pay my deal finder $10,000. I will get this money from a SubTo lender, somebody who's in the SubTo community that is specialized as a lender that wants to be involved in deals. Make sense?
Yeah.
So how much money am I into the deal?
Out of your pocket, nothing so far.
There you go. So I'm out of my pocket, no money. And how much money have I made before I even rented it out?
Well, I guess the equity, I don't know if it has any equity. I don't know.
No. I paid myself. Remember, I paid myself 20
Oh,
grand.
that's right. That's right.
Okay, so I got paid 20 grand to buy this property. Does that make sense?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, cool. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to go to the bedrooms. I'm going to assume that I can rent these bedrooms out, and I can do 8 bedrooms instead of 6. That's a very large house. It's 2,100 square feet. I assume he's not using the garage either. That's the other crazy thing, is he has garages on this house and he's not using the garage. So this guy is not doing co-living properly. No offense to Hispanics, you're Hispanic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do Hispanics like to do things by themselves on their own, or do they like to ask for help?
Depends on the culture. Mexican culture, they
No.
do things in community. But
Okay, so Hispanics, when they go out and they do work on their own, they just like to do the things themselves. They don't ask for help. They don't go and say, hey, I need help with such and such. If they do, they ask people in their own community. They don't go outwardly and ask other people. And so what ends up happening is they manage their own rentals. They change their own oil. They paint their own houses. They do all of that kind of stuff. They don't hire people. Does that make sense?
that's a stereotype, but yeah, I go with it.
Yeah, there's a reason stereotypes exist, Susie, just FYI. Okay, so Hispanics typically, so Fernando is Hispanic. I grow up with Hispanics. I grew up in Arizona. I live in Arizona. All my best friends are Hispanic. I see the culture. Every culture has its own things. White people have their stuff. All my Indian friends have their own stuff. But Hispanic people, you can see it in Fernando. What he's doing is he doesn't want to hire pad split. Okay, so he says, well, I do it all myself. Why is Fernando getting rid of a perfect property? It's on a corner. It's all done. He's invested all this money. Why is he getting rid of the property? Because he says to you on the live, he says, I don't like dealing with all the tenants. I have to manage the tenants. Like, I don't know one tenant name of my own, right? Everybody has their own style. Fernando's like, I'm doing it all myself. Or you could just hire pad split and pad split takes care of it for you. So I'm going to show you the math as if you don't manage the property yourself, what this looks like, okay? So Fernando could be doing 8 bedrooms. He did 6. I don't really like doing a co-living or a pad split property unless it's at least 7. And so I think Fernando should have amplified. He did a big, nice TV room. Very rarely are those people going out in the living room and hanging out in the living room watching TV. That should just be a bedroom. Does that make sense?
Yeah, with strangers. They don't want to hang out with strangers now.
No, they don't want to. They want to go to work and they want to go hang out with their friends, go to the gym and whatnot. Okay. So this property, okay, let's do the math on this. Let's go. This equation is going to be in Arizona. Our average rent per room is $270 per week. Okay, $270 per week. That's kind of the average for the nation is about $850 per month. In Arizona, we're a little bit higher. 270 times 4. We're at 1,080. I'm going to multiply that by 12. This property, this room will bring in $12,960 per month. Okay. I'm sorry, per year. Okay. So let's fill this up. $12,960 per year. Cool. Now, what I'm going to assume, Susie, is that once I own this property, one of those bedrooms is going to be vacant all the time because it's going to be switching out to a new tenant. I'm going to have a paint thing. I'm going to have a such and such. One of my rooms is going to be vacant all the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's why I have the vacancy fee in here. I'm just going to delete year 2 and 3 because it gets confusing for people. Let's just keep it really simple. Okay. Get out of here. Okay. So what happens is a lot of people will come in here and they'll go, well, how does this make money? Well, that's what we're showing you guys right now. Okay, so I'm going to have a vacancy that's going to remove. It's going to be negative $12,000. Then pad split is going to charge me $7,000 a year to manage that property. Does that make sense? I've already taken out vacancy. I've already taken out management. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
So that means I'm left with $83,939 to cover everything else. Okay. How much was his payment he told me I could take over? Do you remember that?
2,500, I think.
Yep, 2,500. So let's multiply that by 12. So that means this payment right here is 30,000. Following me?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say the water in Arizona, my water bill is about $200 a month. So that's good. My electric bill is about $400 a month. So this should be $480 or $4,800. My internet is about $80 a month. My landscaping, really, there is no landscaping on that property. I'm just going to say $1,200. I'll do $100 a month just to rake it, clean it up, whatever. Okay, cleaning, maintenance, gas, there is no gas on that property. And then my private money lender, right? I borrowed money from a private money lender of $38,180, okay? I'm going to pay my private money lender every year 12%, okay? So what is $38,000 times 0.12? I'm gonna pay my private money lender $4,560 per year, okay? How much money is that property going to net me in my first year, my friend?
The 37?
$37,979. That is freaking incredible.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do you see why people want to go into this business? I don't really care about the equity on the front end. I care about getting into the deal that's going to make me $2,000 or $3,000 every single month.
It's cash
The
flow.
equity will grow over time. The payment will get paid back over time. I want to get paid 20 grand up front to buy the property. I want to pay my $10,000 fee to my deal finder. I want to own a property that then lets me have $2,000, $3,000 every single month. Do you have any questions on any of that?
I did before, but now I'm okay. No, I think it's pretty good, pretty clear now. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Susie. You're awesome. So this is why that is a good deal. That's a good deal for me. I would take that property. I don't think I can go beyond 8 bedrooms, but that property by itself, let's see here. Let me go. That property, my friends, will bring in, that's crazy. Oh my gosh. That property will bring in $37,000 in its first year in net income. So not only did I get paid 20 grand, think about this. I got paid 20 grand to buy it. I filled it up. I got paid another $37,000 to keep it. So at the end of the year, I have $57,000 in my pocket from one deal. $57,000. I go do that a second time, a third time, a fourth time, right? We had the guests that we had in the very beginning of the show, we had them come in and they had done 6 properties since April. 6. One of those properties is making them $4 grand a month, so $48,000. So Kyle and Tammy, just since April 1st, since they started taking action, they are cranking on 6. Now they've got a triplex across the road. Let's see. Sorry, I have an agent texting me back, wanting to get on a phone call. Says he can get on a phone call in 20 minutes. So this is the whole point. The whole point is I want to be able to pay my deal finders. I want them to get $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. It truly is that simple. I will end up buying that deal. Maddie, this will be, I don't know how many deals this will be for Maddie, but this will be another deal for Maddie where she gets paid 5 grand, 10 grand, probably closer to 10 grand with that cash flow. And then once I get cranking on that, I might even add like an ADU in the back because that backyard is actually really big. Let's take a look at that. This property actually has a sizable backyard. I would probably add, let's take a look. I might even add like a little, okay, I'd get rid of the living room. They don't want living rooms. All of our tenants tell us they don't want living rooms. I'd get rid of that living room and I make a little 10 by 10 bedroom right there. I'd get rid of that room if it's the same. Yeah, that's the same room. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Dining room's good. I'd turn the garage into that as well. Cool, cool. And then what I would do is after I bring in enough cash flow and I have some extra cash, I would go to the backyard. Let's go to the backyard real quick. Okay, there we go. I would probably put a little ADU, like a little tiny home, maybe one here and one here. And I would turn this into, because I can buy a tiny home on 0% seller finance. I have a supplier that I'm giving to the SubTo members that you can go and buy tiny homes and place them on your property. I can go and buy 2 more little tiny homes and I can bring in some additional cash flow. Probably won't do that till year 2 or maybe year 3. Okay, but that property will be a cash flow machine. Just one. Like, it's so bonkers to me. It's so bonkers to me that you can just do one deal, maybe 2 deals, and quit your job or retire your wife off of just a couple of quick deals, which is awesome. Wow. Okay, so again, the process of doing this is you're gonna need a SubTo buyer, right? Somebody that's gonna negotiate on your behalf, help you out through the paperwork. You're going to rely on them to help you get through the transaction, negotiate, buy the deal, keep the deal, and they're gonna raise the money to help you get your finder's fee, right? If you're a deal finder. What's great about being the deal finder, or the bird dog, a lot of people will call it, is if you're the bird dog, you get to watch that process unfold. The first deal I ever did with Maddie was she did a bird dog deal. She brought an opportunity to me. I bought the deal. She got paid a fee. Boom. That's all it came down to. Now, you can do a bird dog deal once a week, twice a week. We have a gentleman in SubTo, his name's Spencer. He'll make $3 million this year just doing bird dog deals. $3 million this year, just doing bird dog deals only in Arizona. If you're on SubTo, I'm bringing Spencer in the first week of January. He's going to break down some of his systems that he's built just for the Arizona market. Show you guys how he's doing $3 million a year, just on bird dogging. That's it, literally just on bird dogging. Spencer is freaking incredible. We also have a gentleman named Matt, and Matt is a young kid. He is 24 years old. I think he'll make $700,000 or $800,000 this year just finding deals for other people inside of the community. So if you're now you're a deal keeper. Here's the beautiful thing about being in SubTo. If you're a deal keeper, you can just have people bring you opportunities over and over and over and over, because there's SubTo lenders that will also come in and bring that money to you and help you out, okay? So I've got this agent that wants to call me back in 20 minutes, so I'll do a second seller call today. But in the meantime, let's do a little bit of Q&A. Carly, if you could let people raise their hands, and if we can stay on topic, guys, don't come up here and be like, hey, I have a deal, it's a multifamily deal. If you have a co-living question, please bring it up. And I will have the seller call in about 21 minutes. Okay, cool. If you guys have a question that's unrelated, or if you are being a knucklehead, I'll just kick you right off. Chad, what do you got?
Hey, Pace. I was just curious, out of all this, I understand how the person providing the seller financing, I understand how they're secured with the home and all that.
Yes, sir.
How are the private money lenders secured?
Private money lenders are secured against the property in one of three different ways. Number one, they're secured against the property in a second lien position. They're also secured against the operator's LLC in the form of a UCC1. And then also in some situations, I will give a personal guarantee on private money loans, at least me as a borrower. Not all borrowers will, but I will give them three ways that they're collateralized. Does that make sense? Or secured?
Yep. The personal guarantee was my big question out of all that. So you do sometimes provide a personal guarantee.
Yeah, when it's needed. Like sometimes you'll get, I don't get a lot of people that request it now, but when I first started out like 12 years ago, people would ask me if I'd be willing to do a personal guarantee. And I'd say, of course, like if I'm asking you to bring your family's money to the table so I can be in the deal with no money out of pocket, why would I not, put a little bit of skin in the game? And if the skin I'm putting in the game is just saying, I'll personally make sure you're made whole, worst case scenario, then that's an easy thing for me to sign. So personal guarantees is one way. Are you looking to raise money or be a lender?
Raise money.
Okay, cool. So when you're raising money in the very beginning, if you don't have a track record, what you will end up doing is doing something completely different than raising money. You will be raising partners. So one of the coolest things about the community that I built is that we have a lot of people that will just partner with you. So you bring the deal to the table, they'll partner with you, and they'll take 50-50. It'll be like a 50-50 thing. So you pay they bring the $38,100. You bring the deal, they cover all the costs, and they get 50% of the deal, you get 50% of the deal, and you can hold that. Those people are no longer lenders. Those people are now partners, okay? So we don't call them private money lenders, we call them private money partners, and now they're secured on the operating agreement of the LLC that owns the property. Does that make sense?
Yep, 100%.
Cool. So as you raise money in the very beginning, the first person I ever raised money from was a girl named Sonia. Sonia gave me $30,000 for one of my first SubTo deals 13 years ago. And I didn't have a pot to piss in, right? I didn't have anything. And so I made her a partner on the deal until I could refinance her out, or I could make some money somewhere else and bring that capital and pay her out. And I was able to pay her out in 11 months, not in 12. She wanted to be paid back in 12 months. I paid her back in 11. And I just brought in a different partner that refinanced her out, that was okay being in that deal for 5 years. So a lot of questions people ask is like, well, how do I pay the private money lenders off? Very common question. By the way, I'm using breakfast vouchers to give you guys notes today because I don't have any technology on the road. So the first way to pay a private money lender back, number one, is the cash flow, okay? The cash flow from the property. So think about this. Chad, if I go raise money, this is interesting. Let's go back to this deal, okay? The one on Orange Blossom. This deal, if I look at the numbers, how much money did we raise in the beginning? I'm gonna pop it up again. How much money does it say in the lower right-hand corner? I'll make this smaller.
38,100.
Cool. How much will this property net in its first year?
37,979, 33.
Cool. So couldn't I just pay down their, I'm obviously paying them interest payments, the 4560 right here, right? This is their interest payments right here that they're getting for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Could I, if I really wanted to just own the deal by myself, couldn't I just do this deal and tell them, hey, I will not only pay the interest to you, but I'll also pay all your principal down in the first year of owning it, and then have them refinanced out and done with the cash flow from the property?
I guess that's a yes.
Why are you saying I guess that's a yes?
Well, I mean, you don't quite have the full 38,100 in cash flow available. Plus, you're
Bro,
always
it's
trying to be
$200 off. You just wait till the next month.
Well, I mean, you're always trying to be conservative too. So I'm just saying, if you guarantee them in the first year, I'd probably do it in 2 years.
The conservative part was here, right? So having vacancy, having management, all of these numbers are the conservative numbers, so that I actually have a number that already is conservative. I don't take that number and then also go on top of it and be conservative again, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I've already been conservative in my numbers in the first place. So I don't need to go to the 38,000 or whatever this number ends up being and go double conservative. That's crazy. So you could go that route. I'm not saying you would, but you could go that route, correct?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So I'll give you a good example. I bought an RV park. I bought it for $5 million, and the seller wanted $250,000 down. Cool. Really small amount of money down. This RV park I bought, let's see, I'll pull it up, I'll show it to you so you guys get a little bit visual. This park in, let's see, Glacier Peaks, I think is the one I did. Glacier Peaks, there you go. Yeah, it's Glacier Peaks RV Park and Campground. I've told this story a dozen times, but it's always good to kind of refresh. So I bought this park right here for $5 million on creative finance, which is obviously the thing that I specialize in and I teach my community. I bought this park. It has 40 self-storage units. It has cabins, it has RVs, what have you. This park nets $180,000 a year. Nets in my pocket, free cash flow after every available expense. Everything is taken care of. Everything makes 180 grand a year. Okay. This park, I borrowed $250,000 from a private money lender, and I told them I'll pay you out of my cash flow. However much time it takes for me to pay you out of the cash flow, it could take 16 months, it could take 18 months, but I'm tracking it like 18 months. And so you can just tell them whatever you want to tell them, right? There's not like a book with structures in it that says you have to go by this structure. You can just tell your private money lender, hey, are you okay with me paying you out of my extra distributions that come in every single month? I can pay you from that, and it could take 16 months, it could take 21 months, but that's my intention of paying you back. Are you okay with that term? The answer would be, there you go, right? Now you don't have to overthink and go, oh my gosh, will I have enough? Will it go to next month? Chances are there might be something that pops up along the way, and you might have to use that month to fix some windows or whatever else, even though I have an allocation for that of $13,000 for the first year. Even though there is an allocation, maybe there's a way that it goes over that. Couldn't you structure it in a way, right, that you take that cash flow and you just say, I'm going to pay down your principal and it will take X amount of months, best case scenario, X amount of months, worst case scenario, are you okay with that, and raise the money in that regard?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So the first way we can do it is cash flow, right? That's the first way we could pay that back. The second way we pay it back is we can pay it back by replacing the private money lender. And that's what I did with Sonia. So the first thing I did, I know guys, this is really ghetto. I apologize for somebody who has such a big brand and such a big studio at home. I promised I'd do free training 4 days a month, every month for the last 5 years I've done it. And I will not skip, even if I'm using breakfast vouchers to teach you guys. So I'm doing the best I can. So cash flow is number one. Number two would be replacing the PML. And so on my first deal, that's what I did. I raised 30 grand from Sonia and I had 12 months to pay her back. I found somebody that wanted to be involved in private money lending for 5 years, and I replaced them with Sonia a month early. Sonia and I have done, a dozen deals since then. Okay, so that's the second way you can do is just replace that private money lender. Does that make sense, Chad?
100%.
Okay, so the third way that we can do it is I can bring in outside capital, okay? Now, what does that mean? That means that I can go and fix and flip a property. I can go and wholesale a property. I can go find 5 deals for other investors and make $50,000 while I'm running and renovating, or not renovating, but managing my one co-living property. I can go out and find a whole couple of wholesale deals. I can do one fix and flip and pay that $38,100 off from outside projects. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. Another way to do it is I could go out and I can refinance the entire property. Okay, so let's say the property goes up in value, which is what properties do. I do this quite often. I get the seller to give me seller finance or SubTo. I bring in a private money lender and I structure this as 5-year terms. Property goes up in value over those 5-year terms. I refinance the whole amount. It wipes out the private money lender, wipes out the seller's SubTo loan, and I'm in the deal with no money. And I sometimes even get paid because let's say the property goes up to, I bought it for 400, it goes up to 600. I buy in appreciating markets, not Ohio and Iowa that don't appreciate. So I buy a property that appreciates a couple $100,000. I take that, I get a DSCR loan, I wipe those out, and now I have a new loan with only one loan rather than the SubTo and the private money lender. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, another way to do it, which is awesome, and I do this a lot too, I sell the asset. So let's say I buy it and 5 years later, it's gone up $100,000 in value and I'm like, okay, it's time for me to upgrade to a larger asset. Couldn't I sell that property and the new buyer comes in with a new loan, pays off my private money lender and the SubTo loan, and then I 1031 into the next deal?
Yep.
Cool. So there you go. Any questions about any of that stuff?
Nope. Love it. Appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Great question. Okay, so you can do all of that. And this is how I do it. I do it without any money out of my pocket. And what's fun is that I get the ability to send a monthly check to private money lenders. Ike O, what's up, Ike O? How you doing?
Hello, Pace.
How you doing? What do you got for me today? How can I help you?
First of all, nice job, man. I mean, I love this. How was the White House yesterday, by the way?
Oh, that's cool. I've hung out with Trump a couple of times. It was fun to be able to be at the White House. It was cool.
Okay. Okay, my
Some
first
people hate me
question.
for it. And when I talk about it, people are like, why did you hang out with Trump? Why did you do blah, blah, blah? I'm like, guys, he's the president of the United States. Like, if I get an invite to hang out at his office, I'm going. I don't care if he's Republican, Democrat, I'm going,
Perfect. Okay, my question, my first question is about the management. I know you say pad split, and I've been on calls with pad split before,
Okay.
and they pretty much fine for bring the tenants and do all the paperwork and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But however, like Fernando, the guy you spoke to earlier, mentioned there's other stuff in the management that that doesn't get covered by a pad split. So I was wondering why you don't include that in your when you're underwriting the property the way you just did, which was beautiful. Why don't you add? Because I know you're not doing it yourself, because you're a very, very busy person, as we all know.
Yeah.
You don't manage it yourself. So the person that does manage and keeps everybody in check, if you will, I don't see you accounting for that person, whether it's somebody who is in house or somebody who comes by and makes sure everything's all. Why don't you do that? Is my question for that one.
I do, and we talked about it a little bit earlier with my students that joined us at the very beginning, if you remember Kyle and Tammy, they said Pace, shout out to you. We use the person who lives in the property, the most stable person is the one that does all the actual house management. They clean up the property, they call the landscaper, they deal with all of that kind of stuff as a reduced rent. And so the way that I look at my rent income is I allocate for that person having a cheaper rent or even half the rent. And that's part of like my vacancy allocation. That is the most important person. That person is, in a lot of ways, is actually more important than pad split. So that person manages it. And then above and beyond that, if you're the person, so let's go through this. Pad split will go and find the tenants for you. They do the marketing for you. They fill the property. They do the tenant agreements, even though they're not tenants. They do the partnership agreement. They're the ones that collect the money, distribute the money, right? All of those types of things. Then you have somebody that's inside the property that will do some of the cleaning. They'll kind of manage. They'll make sure that they're keeping the peace. They'll kind of tattle and they'll deal with whatever. They'll conflict resolute. They'll do the resolution, which doesn't happen that often. I don't think I've had one in 4 years. I haven't really had any conflict in any of my properties. They do all of that stuff. What beyond that do you think needs to be managed? Like what's an activity that would need to be done that you would be fearful of doing?
Well,
If we got to think about it, like if we got to like really ponder it, means that there's really not a lot. Now, in the beginning, for a lot of people, like let's say you buy a property, right, Ike? You're going to be able to deal with the accounting and you're going to deal with this stuff on your own. Like in your private time, you make $37,000 in cash flow. You can do whatever you want. You can hire a bookkeeper. You can hire a such and such to kind of manage your business. But that's side of the actual asset itself, right? That money comes into your corporation. Inside of that corporation, you're going to go get a bookkeeper, a CPA, this, that, and the other, whatever else. I would say that you probably have, on top of the existing expense load, you probably have another $200 a year in terms of accounting wise, just for every individual house. Like you can go to companies, there's a really great company called Start Virtual where you can have a bookkeeper for like a really nominal fee, like $200 a year. They'll go through and like allocate and clean up your QuickBooks and stuff like that for like $200 a year. So the whole thing of like, I got to do the QuickBooks, I got to deal with that. That is a thing of like 1997 where people are still using fax machines. That really is not a pain point anymore just because of technology. So besides bookkeeping and like managing the money that you're making, I really don't know what else there would be on top of what Pad Split's doing. And then we call them the house mother is what we call them for that position.
Well, I'm on the East Coast, so we have something called snow over here. So we need, I mean, snow.
I live in Montana too. We get more snow than you could even imagine.
Snow removal, keeping the hall. Okay, I know you mentioned the house. I call them the house monitor or the house, like you said, house daddy or mom. Might keep the house clean, but of course, and I believe I was thinking that in addition to Pad Split, you have a management company and you have somebody in the house that keeps everybody in check, the house dad or the house mom.
I don't know what the management company would do.
Well, okay, when the house gets, I think past people, I was about to say, when somebody moves out, they'll put somebody back in there.
Yep.
They'll make sure that, there's anything that the city sends the house about certain things, they'll handle all those issues. Like the snow, the grass.
Yep, that's the house monitor, yep.
The house monitor. But then, okay, the house monitor, what do you give them in exchange? Free rent? Half rent?
No, we give them reduced rent.
Reduced rent.
Yep, so that like if you were on here earlier, you'll see my students, Kyle and Tammy.
Perfect couple, by the way. Perfect couple.
Yeah,
I
great
love
couple.
them.
So Kyle and Tammy explained this as well, and I'm glad that you guys heard it from somebody other than me, because sometimes I make things sound too easy. And the reason I make things sound too easy is because if I made them sound hard, you wouldn't do anything and you'd be stuck in life and you wouldn't even venture to try anything, right? So my job is to make things sound easy so you guys go do stuff. But Kyle and Tammy, they have one guy that's managing 24 rooms, okay? One guy managing 24 rooms. I'm going to say that a third time. One guy managing 24 rooms. Why is that important for me to say 3 times? Is because you need to hear that there's really not a lot of management. The majority of these tenants are keeping to themselves. They're there to sleep and shower and go to work and build their life savings up and put their lives together. And most of the people that come into my properties are people that have graduated college in the last 3 years, or are going through a divorce, or are transitioning to some sort of different phase of their life, if that makes sense. They're not causing problems, right?
Hey, Pace. Hey, Pace, if I may, that guy is a military guy, so he's been conditioned to do that.
Ike,
I'm
tell me what you're looking
just
for.
playing, just playing, just playing. But go
Ike,
ahead, go ahead.
if I lived my life that way, where everything in my life was what if, what if, what if, what if, what if. Every time you say what if is another wasted year of your life. What if this happens? What if this
agree.
happens? Here's the only what if you should ask. What if I just took action? What if I just did the thing I keep telling myself I'm going to do? What if it all does work out? What if I actually hang out with people that are successful rather than hanging out with people that think, what if this happens? Well, what if that happens? Well, what if that happens? Brother, I hope it all happens to you. The good, the bad, the ugly. I hope it all happens to you. And the reason being is because then you'll actually be a part of something that you said you wanted to be a part of, right? You wanted to grow wealth. You wanted to have the problems that rich people have. I imagine, Ike, you want those problems. You want the problems that a guy worth $10 million has, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
got it on day one. Take imperfect action, as you said. So I believe that.
Imperfect action is just taking action.
Yep.
Imperfect action, actually, I'll kind of correct people on that. So people go, oh, you got to take imperfect action. Imperfect action is anything but taking action, because we would just need to say that taking action in itself is imperfect. You're just doing the thing and you're learning. If you want to be protected, Ike, right, you are overly worried, overly concerned, which I love and I appreciate. If you are one of those people, how about this? Let me solve that problem, that conundrum for you and other people, okay? What if you just partnered with somebody that's been doing it for 5 years, somebody from the SubTo community? What if you actually just brought them a deal and partnered with them on your first one, so you didn't have to worry about all the things you currently worry about?
That's why I'm here, Pace.
Okay, cool. So there's how you solve that problem, right? Those people, how many people just had that mind change right there? Like, oh, you're right. All these little things that I'm worried about could be literally eliminated by just, like, think about this. I partnered with Maddie on a pad split deal. Okay, it's a 9-bed, no, it's going to be a 10-bed house. We're still going through like permits and stuff. Kate says, let's make a call together. Okay, Kate, you want to make a call? Cool. Kate, let's get you up here. She says she wants to make a call. Kate likes to tell me what to do. I know Kate. I know Kate really well. Kate likes to tell me what to do in the side chat all the time. Kate, you ready to make a call?
Yes, Pace.
Kate,
Hey,
you just
thanks
want
for
me to
sitting
make...
with us.
What's that?
Thanks for sitting with Rachel and I.
Of course, always happy to help. You want to make a call?
Yeah, so there's I'm gonna probably just spill the beans really quick. Cape Coral is
Yep.
like in dire, and it's bad. I mean, they're not doing too hot, and there's like a ton of properties.
Yeah, the retail market in Cape Coral is getting its ass handed to it.
Well, listen, there's a lot of properties that have low equity, low interest that are on the market. There's 12.
You just,
So
well, you just described the whole country, just FYI, but yes.
All right, well, it's close to Key West, okay?
Okay,
So I can drive there.
cool.
So, do you want to make this call?
Sure, what do you got?
All right. I didn't really expect you to like actually answer me.
I notice every time you call me out in the side chat.
Okay, well, that's nice to know.
Yeah, I know, I pay attention to all your soft criticism. I love it.
About my unicorn agent.
Okay,
The
so you've
agent that I
got,
get really mad at you about the how, yeah.
what about agents, when I beat up agents?
Yes.
If you were smart, you'd beat up agents as much as I do, because you know that you are not one of the agents that I talk about.
No, you know what? I do. Yeah. So I had a really cool talk with Mike Jackson today because we're going to do some agent to agent videos. All right. Let's try.
you want me to call somebody for you?
Yeah.
Okay, can you private message me?
Yeah.
Okay. Private message me here. I'll open up a little chat with you.
All right. Cool.
You see that little message just popped up?
Where are you? Let me look.
Okay, I'll make a call real quick.
Yeah,
while
go do that, and I'll get all you the info really quick.
Okay,
Thank you.
no problem.
Hey, what's going on?
Yo, will you manage in Casa Grande?
Oh, yeah.
And will you manage a co-living property for me?
Last I talked to my partners, yes, we could handle the co-living, and if it's for you, I'm sure we could be good to go.
Okay, hold on. So let's look at that Casa Grande deal you have.
Want to take me out? Okay.
Hold on. Where is this? You just sent it to me a little bit ago. Man, do we text that much? I gotta like scroll up. Okay, cool. It's 2,294 square feet. Do you know much about this deal, or do you know you have somebody on your team that knows more?
Well, no, I know quite a bit about it.
Okay, hold on. Your Google link for the photos is not working.
Okay, let me.
I got it. I fixed it. Okay, so it's oh, I see why. It's like a condo. It's a big property, but it's a condo, really nice property that is not. It's probably not a good fit for co-living because it's attached. It's like a townhome.
Oh, that's not going to work then. You're right.
Okay, cool. What else do you have?
Co-living. I've got a couple more on my mind.
Can I tell you what happened to Fernando?
Yeah.
Okay, so Fernando is the owner of the property, not just the agent on the deal.
On Orange.
Yep, on Orange. So he owns it, and he was actually doing co-living on that property. And he didn't want to like hire outside management. You deal with this all the time. You find property managers that want to manage it themselves, and they want to save money. And then at the end of the day, they're like, I hate being a landlord so much. That's what his pain point is. He's been managing this co-living property himself for 2 freaking years. You imagine that?
Oh boy, yeah, I know.
So he's managing himself, and he puts it on the market. He had an offer that fell out, and now he came along and says he has another cash offer that says they're going to come in and give him a cash offer like $470. He says that if it doesn't go through and they don't get a contract by Monday, he will sell it to me SubTo, and then I'll pay you a fee.
Okay, perfect.
Sound good?
I like it. Yeah, that's perfect.
Bro, it's like the perfect house. He built it for co-living. It's all renovated. He'll let me just take over the existing mortgage. It's like too easy of a deal.
Oh, nice. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's good. Do you have anything else that's like that, non-HOA, 2,000 square feet, 3 bathroom type of stuff? Or do you need to take some time and look?
No, I need to take a few minutes to look. So I'll take a look and send some over.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, see you.
Okay, so here's what happened and who that person was. This is one of my students. He makes $3 million a year just finding deals for people in the community. Maddie, our homeless lady. I'm sorry, she's not homeless anymore, but it helps people understand who Maddie is. Maddie actually found the listing that Spencer had and brought it to me. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a SubTo student, but it doesn't matter. I don't care where it comes from. I'll pay you on whatever. Juan Perez, what's up, brother? We're waiting for Kate to give us a phone call.
I know. I don't see your little I don't see your pop-up thing.
Okay, hold on a second.
And it's disabled. There's no chat thing in here.
Hey, Baze, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Juan. What's up? What do you got?
Hey, man. So I got a question. I actually have a property that I'm talking directly to the agent on in Atlanta. It's a property that used to be a single family, but the seller actually did a ton of unpermitted conversions to make it into a 5-unit property. Right now, he just has a verbal agreement with the tenants, and I was wondering if unpermitted conversions create any type of issues with pad splits.
A permanent conversion?
No,
don't know.
like unpermitted, like he did the work
Oh,
himself.
no, nobody cares about that. What do you need help with? You want me to call him?
Um, right now, I think the negotiation is pretty much down packed, but I just wanted to get
No,
that cleared.
it doesn't matter. I have unpermitted additions on properties that I do not care about, neither does Pat Split.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they don't care about that. They're not gonna ask you if your property's permitted. That's your business. Who's Econ? What's up, man? I haven't seen you for a bit. Maybe it's been a month. What's up?
Hi man, how are you?
I'm good. What do you have for me? Oh, crap. I lost you. There you are. What do you have? How can I help you?
Yeah, actually I want to know that is there any legalities in co-living involved? Like since I'm from Pakistan, so I'm not sure about this one. So just want to know.
Yes, there's legalities. I would watch it on my YouTube channel. We're live. We might as well spend our time doing live stuff. If you got a general question, that's cool, but I would go watch it on my YouTube channel. Go type in Pace Morby Co-Living. I got a whole video that's all about the legalities. Darren Fain, what's up, brother? How you doing? Darren Fain.
Hey,
Okay,
how are you, brother?
I'm good. How can I help you today?
Hey, man. Quick question.
Yes, sir.
I pulled the trigger on a property down in Palm Springs area,
Cool.
and I'm trying to figure out what would be a reasonable room size, number one, for the for the unit.
Okay, so the smallest I would do is an 8 by 10, and you're just going to do a reduced rent on an 8 by 10.
Yeah.
The size of the beds are typically a single, like a little twin bed, if that makes sense. And so they don't need a full 10 by 10 or a 10 by 12, which is pretty standard. We have bedrooms that are at 8 by 10, and we just rent a little bit less expensive. And what's kind of funny about them is they rent faster because, again, the people that are looking at co-living are typically wanting to save money on rent, kind of like what my student said at the very beginning of the live today. So if you get 8 by 10 stuff, you'll rent them very, very fast. I think the biggest challenge with co-living is that the investors typically would not ever live in an 8 by 10, right? Because we're investors and we make good money. And so we don't really identify with what these people's needs are. And so there's this weird mental block of like, nope, why would somebody want to live in an 8 by 10 bedroom? It's very common. They're happy to do it, especially if they can rent it for $700 a month and they get a shower and they get access to a kitchen and all of that kind of stuff. So 8 by 10 is your number. You just got to drop down your price about $100.
Okay, and then secondly, what do you think about what the common space? Like, how much room would you normally allot? Obviously, I've got to put a kitchen in, but outside of the kitchen, is there anything else that you feel is a necessity?
Yeah, I'll actually, tomorrow, I'm actually going to bring out some of my favorite floor plans on some of my co-living properties. And you're going to be surprised that I really don't have a lot of space that's like communal space. These people are not trying to hang out with each other. Like
Exactly.
they're just not. And so I didn't believe this. I did my first co-living property 6 years ago, and I did not believe it. And I have still fought myself over and over every year. But when we go to our co-living tenants and we ask them, what's the one thing we could improve? Never once is it, hey, I'd like more communal area, right? So a lot of people will go like, kind of like Fernando, the property on Orange Blossom that I'm probably going to end up buying. Congrats, Maddie, getting another deal if I end up buying that deal. That property, he screwed up. He has a property that nobody cares about, the couch and the TV. And what was interesting about Fernando is he put a TV in every bedroom. These people are not watching TV. They're not. Okay, if we go back to his room, I want you to understand this is absolutely not happening, Fernando. He's a really smart guy, so I'm not criticizing him at all. I'm just telling you what he was doing, and his model is kind of funky, is that he is putting in TVs into all these rooms. Check this out. Like, why is there a TV there's a TV in the kitchen, obviously, but see this room has a TV? He went
Yep.
around and he over improved the property where he didn't need to. They're not watching TV, right? Because they're coming to the house. They're not sitting in there chilling in these houses. The majority of these people are using the place as a place to sleep, a place to work at their desk. They're trying to keep it quiet. They put headphones on. The majority of your tenants will not make a sound. I've walked into my properties and I think the property is vacant. Meanwhile, there's 7 of them all working. They've got headphones on and they're cranking to their laptops. They are keeping quiet to themselves 99% of the time. So even TVs. So I watch people put TVs in the bedrooms. Don't do that. It's a waste of money.
Okay.
Then I watch them go put a couch in a big living area. I'm like, nobody's ever going to use this. They want to keep to themselves. And so it's better just to use common areas as another bedroom. Or the other thing we've noticed in some of our houses, some people want their own section of a fridge, and they're allowed to put a fridge in their own bedroom, like a small like drink fridge in their own bedroom. But some people want like their own dedicated fridge. And so I have a couple of houses where in the dining room, I have 3 more fridges and they can pick and choose what fridge is theirs. So they're not like fighting over a fridge. Beyond that, I've never had one tenant in a co-living property say, I wish there was more common area. Never once.
Okay. The last thing, and you may think this is foolish. I purchased this property, was going to do the rehab or starting to do the rehab on it, and I actually wanted to do a separate bathroom for every room. It was something I found on some hotels that I stayed at, and they were really small, like maybe 3 by 12 foot, had everything in it. Shower, toilet, sink, all wrapped in one. Kind of like an Asian type of, deal that they do over there, small, tiny living type of deals, right? I thought the reason for doing that is that it would keep down the fuss and who's cleaning, who's not cleaning, and just give people the peace of mind, almost like being in their own complete total apartment by themselves.
I have a good friend of mine that does a co-living model where he does a bathroom for every single person. I don't like that model.
Okay.
And the reason I don't like that model is because it costs a lot of money, and people are like, if you're super advanced and you have so much money and you want to go and pour a bunch of capital into renovating and going through permits and changing all sorts of things around. I mean, what he's doing is he's going into houses, he's gutting the whole house, he's adding like 4 bathrooms, rearranging the whole floor plan. It takes him 9 months to get a project done. Meanwhile, I can just go buy a house like the one Fernando's doing, take over existing mortgage, it's already set up. Why would I go and add more bathrooms to that house? It's already set up, right? So speed. And then also the other thing people that we're not talking about here, the thing that we haven't really spent a lot of time talking about is, where do we get rich, Darren? Like, how do we get rich? We get rich off cash flow, but how do we get wealthy? Where do we get wealth?
Equity growth.
Right. We get
better
equity,
neighborhoods, right? Better areas, more growth.
Okay, there's 2 ways you get wealthy. Okay, and they're basically, it's on every house you get wealthy. Actually, there's 3 ways you get wealthy. Okay. Number 1, when you buy these properties, they allow you to stop paying taxes to the federal government, first and foremost. Okay. So when you guys are out there paying taxes on your W-2, when I buy real estate, I don't have to pay taxes on my active income. That's the beautiful thing about owning real estate. That is how we get wealthy. I don't know what your guys' tax bracket is, but my tax bracket is 43%. You think I want to pay 43% of my earnings to anybody in the government? Absolutely not. Owning the real estate gives me the ability to keep all of my money that I earn. And so that's where we get really, really wealthy, is that we have an unfair advantage. The unfair advantage is people that are working a W-2 job are paying 25% or whatever it is to their active income, and the government takes it out of your paycheck before you even receive it. As entrepreneurs, I don't pay taxes, period. They don't take it out of my check and then reimburse me. I literally just don't pay it. And I do it legally, and the way I do it legally is by buying these properties co-living. Okay, so that's number 1. I make 40% more than my counterparts that make the same amount of money as me because I hold property. That's number 1. Number 2, the properties will appreciate over time. Okay, that's where you get super wealthy. If you guys watch YouTube or you're super educated on what's going on, the Fed just bought $38 billion of the government's. I'll keep it really simple. The Fed is making inflation go crazy again. Next year, our inflation is going to go back to 7%. It's going to be crazy. Trump's going to lower the interest rates. That's going to make the prices of houses go up. It's going to make the prices of everything go up. People are going to be borrowing money again. It's going to be bonkers. Well, guess who's protected in that situation? People who own property. Okay, there's a reason why I'm going on about this. That's number 2, so appreciation. Number 3, more tenants paying down more properties of my debt. And so they're paying my debt down for me. So where do I get wealthy? Should I get wealthy by going and doing these fabulous projects and spending 9 months on the house and doing all these bathrooms? Or should I go get 9 houses in 9 months that I don't have to do any of that? And now I have 9 houses that gave me tax benefits, mortgage pay down, and appreciation 9 times over versus 1 house that I really wanted a bathroom in every single bedroom.
Yes, yes, no, get the ones that you can turn and flip the fastest and get them cash
Yeah.
flowing.
Get the cash flow going. Yes, 100%. So really, really great question. And guys, tomorrow what I'll do is I'll bring some of my favorite floor plans that I've done. And what we'll also do is this seller just actually moved me to tomorrow. He asked if I could call tomorrow. I just texted him back and said, how about 2 o'clock Eastern time, which is 11 o'clock Western time. So right at the very beginning, tomorrow's last day, I will call the seller. He's an agent named Jeff. He was the first agent I reached out to. And I'll show you guys how to go start to finish all the way through a conversation so you guys can do that too. And then we'll jump into some floor plans that I really like as well. Kate, do you have somebody you want me to call?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna give you the number. Because I can't chat you.
That's crazy,
I'm sorry.
Kate. Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it. Can I give you my email?
Of course.
If you do that, you're gonna have everybody calling this person. This is the unvetted. This is the free Facebook people. You just can't trust it. Yeah.
Okay. What is it?
I just put it in the side chat. pacejmorby@me.com.
Oh.
Shoot me an email real fast and I'll call them. What do we need to accomplish on this call?
So it's a 2.9 interest rate VA. It's been on the market forever. It's zoned for co-living.
Okay.
But what happens if every house in Florida has a pool? What do you do about that?
I keep the pool.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
If anybody says that I don't like pools for my pad splits, I'm like, man, y'all are picky. Like your tenants. Now, here's what sucks about a pool. The only thing that sucks about a pool is that it costs insurance a little bit, yeah, but it's not that significant. So like an extra $100 a month. But also your pool maintenance is, even though you have a pool cleaner, it stops by once a month or once a week, and they're charging you basically $20 a week, so it's $80 a month. The thing that sucks is you got to allocate another $200 for like weird things that go wrong on the pool equipment. So your pool insurance, your pool maintenance, and then your pool guy totals about $400 a month. So it's an extra $5,000 a year out of your cash flow. If I'm making $38,000 in a year on the property, and then I have a property with a pool, and I'm making 33 grand, I'm going to take the deal, especially when it has a 2.9% interest rate.
Got it. I sent it to you.
Okay, cool. Let's call this person.
I just looked at shit.
You give me the address. You want to give me the phone number and the cell phone number?
Right here. Yes, sir.
And this is an agent, right?
Yes.
I want to know what?
My dog. He's like digging into something. What do you want to know?
I just want the name and the number.
I am on it. It's coming right this second.
That's all I need. Just resend me another email with a name and a number.
It's on it.
Okay. I need to know very little about any situation. I care less about. What's that?
Nothing. I'm on it.
I need to mute Kate. She's wild. Kate, you're wild. She's always teasing me in the side chat, and then she's talking to her dog the whole time. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Okay, Kate, I'm waiting for your. Okay, there it is. Cool. Lisa. Cool. Let's call it Lisa. Now, what I'll do, guys, is I'm gonna text Lisa before I call her, just so my name pops up on her cell phone as somebody that is reaching out. I'll just say hi. Oh, she's got an Android. I don't have a problem with Androids. I just don't know if this is a real phone number, if this is her office number. That's the problem. iPhones give us this ability that when it is an actual cell phone, it pops up as a blue number, and now this is green, so it could be her office number, which I don't like. I don't like guessing, right? When you're low on time, I just want to know, is this your cell phone? Not criticizing Androids, just it is more helpful when you have an iPhone. Let's see. Ooh, I like her last name. Okay, so I just send something really basic. I just say, "Hi, Lisa. This is Pace. I'm looking at the 32nd Street listing. Do you have time to chat?" Now, what I'll do is I will now just call her because I'm going to assume that she doesn't have time to chat if I give her that ability. I just want to get on the phone. So deals get done. Just get on the phone.
A&J.
Hi, this is Lisa.
Yes.
Lisa, I saw your last name and I'm like, how do I pronounce that last name?
Caglione.
Caglione, but you also have like a French name too.
Chanel, my husband, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Love it. So an Italian and a French person got married, huh?
Yes.
I love it. Cool. My name is Pace. I'm calling about 4218 Northwest 32nd Street.
Yep.
You guys have had that listed for a bit. I'm sure you guys are getting offers like SubTo offers and whatnot.
Dumb offers, yes, for sure.
What's keeping you guys from selling it that way?
Maybe because they're all trying to do creative financing and stuff, and he can't. It's going to go into foreclosure. Can you hold on 1 minute?
Of course, absolutely.
Hold on
Yeah.
1 minute.
No problem. Okay, so this is an agent that doesn't understand creative finance. She's thinking that the seller's in foreclosure, that prevents her from doing creative finance. That only pushes her to be more part of creative finance, if that makes sense. If he's in foreclosure, why wouldn't I be able to buy his house SubTo? Like, in fact, that'd be even better for me to buy his house SubTo. I don't know why. Right? People, what it is people watching my YouTube channel that don't know what the heck they're doing. She's dealing with something, she's juggling a couple things, so I'm going to call her back in like 1 minute. So what you'll run into is people that don't know what they're doing. They're not trained. They'll watch my YouTube channel, go, oh, this is possible. And then they make a fool of themselves and they say, I don't know why. I have no idea why. If a seller's going into foreclosure, why I couldn't buy the house SubTo. That's crazy. We're going to find out here in just a second. Wendolyn Rogers, what do you got? While I'm waiting to call this lady back, what do you got?
Hey, no problem. Hey, one of the things I run into is I never know how to explain when I do the creative financing with a seller and I say I'm going to do it SubTo, and they get in a position, they always want to know how are they protected? And I'm always like, well, your first lien, if I miss a payment, it goes back to you. But the question
they're not first lien, but go ahead.
Okay. So then I have got that wrong. Okay. But secondly, how do they ever get approved for another mortgage if they want to go buy a additional house if I'm on a SubTo with them?
Okay, so I'm going to give you a YouTube video. It sounds like you're not in my community, so you've been kind of flying by the seat of your pants on creative finance stuff.
A little bit.
Yeah. Why aren't you just in my community?
I haven't gotten there. I haven't taken the step yet.
But you're willing to spend your time not knowing all the right answers at the right time?
I'm in a couple other ones, just not the SubTo.
There is only one other one. Let's watch this. So Pace Morby, how to get another loan. I have this really great call with a broker, and I break it down for this broker that asked this exact question. I got to find it.
That's okay. I can search it up.
Certainly, yeah. Look it up. It's actually a call with a seller. It was done in April of this year. I put it on my YouTube channel. It's like a 20-minute call with the broker, and I explain it to the broker of how they would get another. It's actually with a loan officer, to be honest. It's actually with a loan officer. It's a really great call. All right, let's call this agent back.
You've reached
Okay, so she's clearing my call now. Oh, she says, no, hold on, hold tight, I'm plugging it in. Her phone died. That's what happened. All right, let's go. Has everybody been having fun the last couple of days? Tomorrow I'm gonna walk through like step by step of what you need to do your first deal. Today I just promised to make some calls for you guys. How do we find a SubTo buyer in the SubTo community? Cool. Kevin, what do you got for me? How can I help you out?
Hey, Pace. I'm one of your SubTo members and brand new in the community.
Awesome, man.
Reaching out to another local here in Austin.
Okay.
And we've got a property found at 9913 Soroku Drive in Austin.
I would suggest not giving away an address on a non-private Zoom, but you're more gangster than I am.
Hey, but if we lose it, there's another one. You talk about how many are out there. So
yeah, you got to be careful when it's like I'm on YouTube and on the free Facebook group right now. You got to be really careful because those people, there's a section of these people are not vetted people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I got it. Hey,
the only deals I ever lose are when I do live calls on YouTube or I do live calls on Facebook. People are like, I don't care about pace. I'm just gonna take. So you got to be careful. But what are you stuck on? How can I help?
So I'm gonna drive out there here in a little bit and take a look at it since it's about 20 minutes away. But the question is, it's roughly 200 to 500 square feet smaller than the ones within a half a mile. Can't remember if I used prop wire or how I got that. And the price point is right around the same range. I know you're looking at the square footage size and fresh into the co-living, watching your stuff, watched a like almost 2-hour video last night, threw it off halfway through it to go to bed. But I mean,
love it.
Yeah, but it's want to know for fresh people that are trying to get that first deal, which you said we're going to talk about tomorrow. What do I need to grab a TC when the time comes, or?
Okay, so Kevin, here's what I want you to do. You're in the community, so like you're not in a course, right? You're in the community. You have 24,000 people that will literally just help you.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, you have another SubTo member that's helping you through this deal. So you're like, well, what do I do first? Email Shelly at pacemorby.com and say, hey, I'm a SubTo member. Can you help me get a TC lined up to do all the paperwork for me? And we'll handle the paperwork for you. Okay. So you never have to worry about paperwork ever again, which is awesome. The other thing that you need is you need help underwriting it. So every single day inside of SubTo, in fact, there's one going on right now. There's a live Zoom happening right now where people are in SubTo underwriting and looking at each other's deals on a Zoom where we can see each other's faces, right? Today is a free Zoom. The people I'm primarily helping today are on YouTube and in this free Facebook group. This is a non-vetted group of people. I'm donating my 4 days of my life every month to them. I have always done that. This is not the best place for you to find help. The best place for you to find help is go into the SubTo calendar right now. There's a live Zoom happening right now where somebody will look at your deal and help you break it down and walk you all the way through it.
Yep. All right. Will you go over the basic? Would you go over the basics too of the cash flow equation? Are you all right going? What is it? The value minus the rehab and minus the.
Are you doing a cash deal or are you doing a creative deal? Which one are you doing?
Well, it's going to be creative. Yeah, it'll be
okay. Then we're not gonna do when you're doing a creative deal. It's very basic. Like this agent that I'm calling right now. I just want to know what's the interest rate, what's my payment, and what can I bring in on a monthly basis, and that's it. Okay, so what is the interest rate on the house?
Good question.
Kevin?
I have to pop. I don't know. You're right. I don't have it loaded right now as I'm in this and.
Okay, no worries, Kevin. Do me a favor. Go into the private SubTo calendar. You're brand new, so you haven't like acclimated to it yet. But go into the private SubTo calendar. There's a Zoom literally happening right now where you can have your face up You can talk through the deal and somebody in SubTo will literally break it all down for you live on a Zoom right now. Okay, that's where I would go right now. All right, let me call this agent, see if I can get a hold of her. Her phone's like dying.
You reached 77.
Okay, so I'm texting her. She says, hold on, my phone died. I'm just texting her back and saying, hey, when can I call? I've got a meeting I'm running into. Should we chat now or should we chat tomorrow? And I can tee her up. I've got another agent that's ready to go right at the beginning of tomorrow. So I'll do her tomorrow, maybe. I hope I don't do her tomorrow. I hope I get the call right now. She's got this interest rate on this house is like 2%, which is really cool. Shelly Horman, what's up, Shelly? How you doing? Shelly. Some of you guys don't use Zoom that often, and you have to look at there it is, she found it.
Sorry, you've answered a lot
good.
of questions that I already had, so thank you for doing this and taking the time to do this, and I hope to, at some point in the near future, be part of the SubTo community. In regards to divvying out this space, I know you said you didn't want bathrooms in every room. You mentioned allowing them to put a fridge in the bedroom. Is that so?
Yeah,
you
I'll
don't
let them put like a little teeny fridge, like something that fits underneath their desk.
And then how do you keep them from spending time in common spaces at the same time? I know the one guy you interviewed, oh gosh, I don't remember his name. He had blonde hair, but at any rate, he had said that he made a schedule where they could only be in the kitchen at certain times, and
yeah,
that
we have a
seems
schedule.
very like a hot mess.
Yeah, in my SubTo community, I have a whole breakdown of like the agreements that we have them sign. We have like jobs and schedules and shower and blah, 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 like all that stuff. You could probably have ChatGPT do it the best it possibly can. Ours is kind of crafted over, we have 24,000 members in our community and about 7,000 of them do co-living. And so collectively as a 7,000 person co-living portion of our community, we've crafted these schedules and these things all together of like best practices aggregated and collected all over the country. And so that's what Kyle's talking about, is those rules and regulations and all of those types of things for his tenants, if that makes sense.
Right. And I know he totally poo-pooed the whole swimming pool idea, but here in Arizona, you would think that would be a draw to help get people in. Or do you like jacuzzis better, or just you don't even try to do the extras?
I don't do any extras unless the extra was already there.
Okay.
Like I don't even do a barbecue. I don't do anything. Like they don't. Shelly, if you're in Arizona.
Yes, I'm in Prescott area.
So cool. If you ever join SubTo, I will take you to some of my properties. We go on property tours all the time, and you will meet some of my tenants. They come and hang out in my office. I have them speak to the group like, hey, I'm a tenant in co-living. Because like once you see it, you go, oh, okay.
Yeah, I literally was signing up with you guys and was literally giving my credit card to the gal on the phone and found out that I had been hacked. And I had to shut down all my accounts and redo everything.
Totally makes sense.
The only reason I'm still not in your group is I'm.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just saying at some point you'll meet some of these tenants and you'll be blown away of like everybody, not everybody on here, but you probably would say most people you know are not going to be willing to live in a co-living property. And so the hard thing we have is like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. You're only in a little room and this, that, and the other. These people are so attracted to this lifestyle. It's a very different breed of human beings, or better yet, it's a different phase of life than you and I are in. And I had the same thought process, especially as I got out of Airbnb I had 75 Airbnbs, and I think it's one of the worst business models. Especially, here's why I think Airbnb is a bad business model, because people hate me when I break this all down. But
I think you know ahead of the time, you're ahead of the game as far as that goes, it seems.
yes, and I have been for 3 years. I've been telling people for 3 years, get the heck out, get the heck out, get the heck out. And the reality is, Airbnb is a model that does not solve an economic problem, right? What's an economic problem? Well, affordability. Affordability is a massive problem. So when you look at like the zoning issues that are happening in co-living, most of them are actually going away. So co-living, if you look at, let's say Denver, for example, Phoenix is really cool too. You're in Prescott, but Phoenix is really pushing hard on getting rid of zoning requirements. But if you go to Denver, let's see, Denver related tenants law. So there's a new tenant law. Let's see, focus on evictions, limiting income requirements. Okay, tenant rights. There's a new law that just got passed in Denver that allows you to have unlimited, unrelated tenants in the same property, which means you've got, oh yeah, it's big. And Sacramento is now giving grants. The city of Sacramento is giving state or city grants to co-living investors because they need this so desperately, right?
Wow.
So, which is the opposite of Airbnb. Nobody has ever been like, let's change zoning laws to allow for more Airbnb. It's not happening. It's the opposite. They want to get rid of Airbnb. And in co-living, they want more of it. In downtown Phoenix, they just passed a law that if you're within 5 miles of city center, you can have, you can add an ADU unpermitted in Phoenix, Arizona. This just passed. So it's crazy. It's crazy. So city center, 5 miles away, they're allowing anybody that was told otherwise before, no ADUs, you don't have enough space. They're allowing everybody to do an ADU within 5 miles of city center. They're trying to double the amount of people that can live in the downtown because obviously jobs are there, right? So things are happening and moving and progressing in that direction. So as I've moved out of Airbnb, I had this old mindset of like pretty wallpaper and cute backsplash, and none of my co-living properties have a backsplash. None of my co-living properties have fancy tile showers. None of them have glass sliders. None of them have any of that stuff because that's not why these people are staying in these properties. Unlike Airbnb folk, which are like, I want an experience. I want to feel like a hotel, you know, that kind of stuff. So I can tell you for a couple of years, I really fought it. And through my own experience and all of the SubTo member experience, if you look at PadSplit, largest co-living company in the nation, there's a couple of others, there's none really that close. You'll see that 70% of the properties on PadSplit's platform, 70% of them are SubTo members' properties. That's crazy. And so we get this amazing like brain trust where we're helping each other out and figuring these things out. Very rarely do these types of tenants go, wow, I have a pool. Now they might think it for a minute or two, but then again, they're jumping into a pool that a bunch of strangers are in the same house. It's not like they're swimming privately, if that makes sense.
Awkward.
And so I do have one co-living property with a pool, and I thought it would be a benefit. Nobody jumps in it. We have, cameras that go around the outside of the house. Nobody's ever in the pool, and there's 10 residents in that pool, in that house.
Wow.
I know it's crazy. So I wouldn't do any of those types of things. I wouldn't do barbecues. I wouldn't do any of that stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. And as far as oversaturation in the market, I know I saw you with Ken McElroy at one point, and he's talking about how like when the cranes go up, the market is done. He mentioned that in a few different markets, not here in Arizona, but elsewhere. Well, a little bit in Arizona too, but not where you're primarily at. We have cranes now in Prescott, which I've never seen before in my life.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm like, part of me is like, okay, we're getting oversaturated, but then they just keep coming. It's like, where are these people coming from? Are you concerned about the market getting oversaturated? I mean, because he's talking about how multifamily is taking a bath right now, but it seems like the co-living is going to put us in a better position versus regular long-term rentals anyways.
Long-term rental, I started telling my community members about 4 years ago. I said, start getting out of them, because what's going to happen is we creative finance investors will always be able to get 0% seller finance. we'll always be able to get 2.9%, 3.1%. Like the interest rates and the affordability for us to get into a house, like I'm texting this agent right now, okay, that has a house that's 2.9%. And she's like, my seller's gonna lose his house if you don't take over the property, is what she's saying to me. Like, hand the keys. So we're never gonna have a problem of deal flow. What is beautiful about single family, which is not beautiful about large multifamily that Ken McElroy is doing, is single family has the ability to morph and adapt to the existing marketplace, right? So when renters are having a hard time or rents are compressing because people and affordability is going down, and right, we had 100,000 jobs lost this month in our economy. So people are losing jobs and people are fearful and they're scared, right? The economy is nothing more than like the overall United States feeling of how we all feel. That's what the economy is. Are we spending money? Are we excited about spending money? Are we doing this or are we doing this? And right now, people are unwilling to pay rent. So what's happening is we are converting or buying with the intention in the first place, a lot more co-living properties. When your question of like oversaturation, I look at it and I go, co-living's been around for a long time. Ironically, did you know that Ken McElroy's sister has been doing co-living for 29 years?
And he mentioned that she was in a different part, kind of like his wife. She does all the single family.
Right, so they do completely different things than him.
And I was surprised to see that you were looking at Seattle, because I thought Seattle was supposed to be a horrible place to invest.
It is a horrible place. Yeah, it's horrible. But it's horrible about one thing. It's horrible about long-term renters. And so like I look at people that are doing like the Burr strategy, that I'm like, what are you doing? Like their landlord tenant laws are absolutely atrocious. So I have 15 brand new builds, right? So I bought land, I'm building and I'm selling them, and I'll make like $1.7 million. Basically, it's just a flip is all it is. So I'm not holding property in Seattle. I'm selling, I'm building, selling, and I'll do that 5 times this year. Do a couple of projects this year in Seattle. I just found a really good deal on land. We're doing infill lots, basically. However, I am buying in Washington right now. We just submitted a big LOI on an RV park. I will do an RV park in Washington all day long. I just won't do a long-term renter. And the reason you understand, there's rental laws. And when I'm doing a recreational site, people don't have squatter rights. They live in their own unit that's on wheels. I can pull them out anytime. I don't have like landlord tenant laws with RV parks. So it's really horrible. California, Oregon, Washington, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, and a couple of like really other minor states are really, really bad with long-term rentals. What's cool about Pad Split is I own Pad Split in California. Why do I own Pad Split? Yeah, but why? Because they're not tenants. They're owners of they're part of a club. They're members of a club. And so there is no landlord tenant laws, and it's been fought and taken to court, and they've lost every single time. And so the case law shows that they can't claim tenant landlord relationship, if that makes sense. So I'll buy co-living in all 50 states. Okay, so saturation. Let's say that you buy a property and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't find anybody to come in this property. Let me ask you a question. Will there ever be a point in history going forward, and probably like the last 10 years, will there be a point in history where you will not be able to find somebody that wants to live in an affordable bedroom?
Probably not.
No. Has there been a point in history in the last 100 years that the government actually solved affordable housing?
No, in fact, I looked into Section 8 here. It seems like they don't do that up here.
Yep, a lot of people, Section 8, this is what I was talking about on Monday, is that I think people that learn Section 8 are stupid. I think I'm sorry, let me say it the right way. If you learn Section 8 first, you're stupid. If you learn Airbnb first, you're stupid. What you should learn is, where do deals come from? How do I acquire them with creative finance? And then how do I determine what I do with that property is the right thing? So I go find a property, this one that I'm calling about tomorrow, she'll be the first call I make tomorrow as an agent that's like, take the house, right? This is Kate, one of my students that sounded off in the side chat. She's always teasing me. So I'll call that agent. She's like, my seller's gonna lose this house to foreclosures if you don't just take the mortgage. Cool. I don't know what I'm going to do with that house. All I know is this. I know that there are 25 different strategies I can do with a single family house, but the house and the terms I get will determine what I do with it. I never go into a house thinking I'm doing co-living on this. I never go into a house thinking I'm going to do Airbnb or Section 8. I look for pain, right? So if I go look for pain, people that are behind on their mortgage, people that have a really low interest rate but no equity, and they're listed with an agent, that tells me there's pain, okay? Now, what will happen here, let's go back to this. I'll kind of show you this. I want you to remember something. I want you to remember, Shelley, that you will never determine what a house does. The house will tell you what it wants.
Okay.
And people that are like, oh, I'm a Section 8 person, is like, okay, so you're doing a strategy that doesn't work in 90% of the country? Awesome. How about you just learn how to acquire properties with no money out of your pocket and then let the property tell you what it wants? Okay, so watch. Let's go to residential. I'll go to even your city. You're in Prescott. Look how many Prescotts there are. That's crazy. Okay, so we got Prescott, right?
Yeah.
My software says there's 29,372 investor opportunities, but I'm going to dwindle that way, way, way down. I'm going to go to low equity. That's 1,200. That means there's 1,200 people that would sell to me, probably SubTo, which means they'll just hand the keys over to me. 19 of those are actively listed. Okay. So I've got listings. Cool. So check it out. 2-bed, 1-bath. Am I going to turn that into a co-living property? Yes or no?
No, in fact, Prescott Valley would be a better market for co-living because Prescott, there's like 0 parking at most of these places for the rooms they already have.
Right. So the point is, I'm not a Section 8 investor. I'm an investor. And if Section 8 makes sense, then I do it. I will say I'm a creative finance investor. I will never say I'm a co-living investor or a Section 8 investor or an RV park investor. That's like saying I'm an Apple stocks investor. It's like, okay, so only Apple stocks? Yeah, only Apple stocks. Okay, well, what if Nvidia is shooting up or what if this? It's like, no, I invest in stocks, right? Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
I see so many knuckleheads that now this is in the beginning. This is not to talk about like Ken McElroy, who's so scaled in one category that he's like, I do one thing really big, right? I go buy $400 million in properties and I do X, Y, and Z. That's all I do every single year. He's scaled a massive business over the last 30 years to get to the point where that's all he does. In the beginning, nobody is going to go out and only do co-living. Typically, you're going to do a couple of co-living, then a Section 8. You'll do a couple of co-living, then a Section 8. Whatever the house tells you it should be is what you ultimately do with it. In fact, there's cities that I'll buy a deal and I'm like, oh, that's all nonprofit. I'm going to go get nonprofit tenants. I don't care because at the end of the day, if I can get the house with no money out of my pocket, it can cash flow $1,000 or $2,000 a month. I can set up the same management structure and the same rules, the same bookkeepers managing it. What do I care what the property is doing? I care that I can get the property with no money out of my pocket. Now, once I get my beak wet, okay, I get going, now I can start picking and choosing which strategy do I want to focus on once I've become free. The problem is people are like, I'm going to go do Section 8. I'm like, okay, so it's going to take you 9 years to get to a point you can quit your job. Why? Because the average Section 8 property makes like $300, $500 a month. Okay, that's cool. But how many of those do you freaking need to acquire, right, to quit your job?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. Right. So the thing I tell my students, and one of the things I really want is I'm like, okay, some of my students join, they're already retired and they want to scale, right? And so I tell them, okay, well, let's not worry about you retiring because you've already retired. Let's retire your wife. How much does your wife need? How much do you need? How much does your mom need? Have you retired your mom yet? Have you retired somebody in your family? Let's go after that if they're already scaled. I get students that join and go, I hate my job. I'm retired. I live on a pension. I'm not making enough money. I'm like, cool. What is that amount of money? Let's figure out how to get to that number as fast as possible with whatever strategy we can touch using creative finance. Then once you figure out what you really like and you're free and you have enough money coming in, then you can double down on what you actually want to do, if that makes sense. I got free through single family. I then realized that I'm really good at acquisitions, and so I can go find any house in any city or any RV park. Like, you see how fast I'm like, tell my students, get me on the phone. I don't know anything about the house. because I know what I'm good at. How did I find what I'm good at? Is I focused on finding deals through creative finance. The house then told me what it wanted. If it's an HOA, Shelley,
No,
am
no,
I going
no.
to do? Am I going to do an Airbnb in an HOA?
I don't want to do anything in HOAs, honestly, but
Cool. I will do a lot of stuff in HOAs. You know what I'll do with HOAs is stuff that I don't really talk about online because it's over most people's heads. I'll sell it on a wrap or a lease option. I will all day long do an HOA.
I forgot about those.
Yeah, there's 26 strategies that I can do once I get a house under contract. My goal is find the house, get it under contract with creative finance with no money out of my pocket, then determine what am I going to do with it.
Okay.
So many people learn the wrong thing. They go, let me go pay somebody 20 grand to learn Section 8. Let me go pay 20 grand to learn, Airbnb. And I'm like, then they come to me and they go, so I've been in this Airbnb mentorship, but I haven't done a deal yet. I'm like, okay, do you know how to find a deal? No, I don't. Okay, well, that's your problem. Focus on finding deals. Where do deals come from? They come from pain. Pain comes from filters, right? So this filter in Prescott, okay, tells us we got 19 properties on here that are listed and have no equity. Okay, here's one right here.
You pointed something out to me that I didn't even realize I was doing. I was letting my own frustration with my own HOA cross off all the HOA deals automatically, and I need to not do that.
Okay, check this out. So this is 1245 Hazley Road. This right here, non-HOA, how do I know? You can just tell it's an older house in an older neighborhood, probably not an HOA. I'd have to verify that. But they also owe a lot more money. They owe a lot of money on it, okay? And they've got 2,200 square feet. It's already 4-bed, 2-bath. Okay, probably a good opportunity for us to call. I could call them tomorrow for you. And look how easy this is. I'll call this agent. Let's see how many days this has been on the market. It's been on the market for 134 days.
That's a lot.
Okay, so again, do you see how big of knuckleheads people are? They're like, I don't know where deals come from. I just showed you. I put a filter in your city, in a small little city in the middle of nowhere, Arizona. No offense to Prescott, but you guys are in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's a super cute town, but it's in the middle. I mean, Arizona by itself, Phoenix is middle of nowhere. But I'm in Baltimore right now, and people on the East Coast have no idea how vast the West Coast is. Like if you go to Baltimore, think about how big this is. This is interesting.
Wow.
And there is a point to this, okay? So check this out. So Baltimore. Well, where's Washington, D.C.? 30 minutes away. Where's freaking Philadelphia? 30 minutes away. Where's Jersey? 30 minutes away. Like literally all of these big cities are all compact. Boston, right here, boom, they're all next to each other. This is how the East Coast lives. They're just packed all together, okay, for the most part. When you go to the West Coast, where you and I live, the closest sizable town to Phoenix, Arizona is Tucson, which is 2 hours away. And then you've got Prescott, it doesn't even pop up on the map, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you are. So you're in Prescott. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is because I want people to know, look how fast I found a deal in your little town. This lady, whoever this person is, has had this house on the market for 134 days. They haven't been able to sell the house. Nestled in an affordable treed neighborhood close to town. This home offered blah, 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 blah. Cool. Well, Crystal, you can't sell the property. Okay? And if I hadn't brought this up, I should just call Crystal. I wonder if is this an HOA? Okay, so residents also enjoy Hazley HOA amenities. Okay, so it's in an HOA. So guess what I would do with this property? I would sell this on a wrap or on a lease option. I already know immediately. The house tells me what I want. This is that people need to understand. This skill is the most important skill. I can look at a property and go, yep, that's not an Airbnb, not a Section 8, not a co-living. Oh, it's HOA, wrap, lease option, or assignment to an end buyer. Boom, I already know. Or I can give them a really lowball cash offer, which is what everybody's probably doing with them, and maybe they'll take a lowball cash offer. But the reality is this. If you learn creative finance, your likelihood of getting a deal goes up literally 10x. What do you think these people are going to accept a lowball cash offer? They've been on the market for 134 days. If they were going to accept a lowball cash offer, they would have already done it.
True.
Okay. let me call this lady real fast, and we'll have this conversation. This is the most important skill you could acquire is this. The problem is, again, what I talked about this whole live today is that people will go, okay, well, now I know what to do. How do I do it? You do it by getting in the room with other people doing deals.
You do make it look easy, though.
It is easy. Talking. Maybe that's the point. The point is get around people that make it easy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, you've reached customer.
And what did we say about real estate agents? They rarely pick up the phone.
That's true.
And it's just, so what do you got to do? You got to text them, email, call, text them, email, call. And even the agent I got a hold of today is like, let's call tomorrow. So at least the appointment's set up. You want me to tell you, Shelly, what you would learn? Here's what I would do. If you were in SubTo, here's what I would do. I would invite you to my office. I would then show you how we send out a message to all of these agents in Prescott, Phoenix, Buckeye, everywhere. We send every single agent that has a listing over 90 days, and we get on a phone call with them, and we send them a message, get on a phone call with them, and we set an appointment to have them talk to a closer. So what you would learn is you would essentially learn, okay, look, I know how to find the filter, I know how to send out the message, and I know how to call or get the agent to call me. And when I'm on the phone, I say, hi, I'm Shelly. I work for a big investment company. Somebody in our company would love to chat with you. How does 1 o'clock tomorrow sound? Cool. Then a closer like me or Jamil or one of the other SubTo members would literally close that person or close that deal in front of you. The biggest challenge with single family is getting agents on the phone. That's the biggest challenge by a long shot. So we cut that out by sending them a message. We then set the schedule or get them set up for the following day, and now they're expecting a call. It's on their calendar, and now you can see action happening, like literally boom, 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 boom. Every 10 calls we make, we get a deal. Every 10 calls we make, we get a deal. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Prescott, Phoenix, it doesn't matter where you are. And we don't discriminate what the house is doing. I'm not looking for co-living deals necessarily. I'm looking for deals. And a lot of times co-living is, it's probably like 30%, 40% of the deals that I look at are a co-living deal. If it's not a co-living deal, I go, okay, that's an Airbnb. Very rarely is it an Airbnb, but oh, that's a wrap. That's a lease option. That's an assignment. That's a flip. That's a this. That's a this. The house determines its strategy, not you. And I hope everybody in here learned something valuable today out of that. So, Shelly, you're freaking awesome. Tomorrow, guys, I've got 2 calls lined up already. Did everybody have a good time today? Give me a yes if you did, a no if you hate me. Tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I'll do 2 calls right out of the gate. The 2 agents that we're talking to. And then I've got a breakdown of floor plans that I really like with co-living. And then what I'll do is tomorrow, this is going to be a lot of fun, I'm going to select the next person that I will be moving to their town, okay? I'm going to be moving to somebody's town sometime after April. I'm going to select somebody out of here tomorrow. And after April, because I'm on the tour right now, 100 cities, 100 days, visiting people, somebody in here I'm going to select, and I will choose to move to your town, live in your shoes, side by side with you. I'll go to your W-2 with you in the daytime if I have to. I'll go to your W-2 with you at nighttime if I have to. And then I'll work with you the rest of the day to make sure that we get you some assets that we can actually get you going. Pace, are you willing, or anyone willing to answer? Do you recommend Deal Sauce or PropWire or any other platform for deal finding on an iPhone while you're on the go? I think PropWire is probably easier. I don't know. I've never used Deal Sauce on the phone. I don't like using I don't like using software on my phone. If that makes sense. Gene Brutus says, come stay with me and my family pays. All right, I'm going to be going to the Baltimore, Maryland meetup right now. And then the next day the next meetup is in Pittsburgh. Then I'm going to Cleveland, Buffalo, and then New York, New Jersey area, Philadelphia. Do you duplicate varnish all your co-living properties? Yes, we already do that. Yeah, I'm going to Philly. Go to creativenationtour.com to find out where I'm going. Okay, I'm not going to answer any questions. creativenationtour.com, go there, you'll see the schedule, creativenationtour.com. Guys, tomorrow I'll be back. I've got some really cool gifts to give you guys tomorrow. And I also have, for people that are trying to get in my office and do, is anybody in here want to get in my office and just do deals with me in person? Does anybody want to just get in person with me in our office, like physically get to our office and spend a week? How many people would spend a week with me in office? Okay, very cool. I think in person is just the way to go, which is why I'm doing all these meetups. But all right, cool. Tomorrow I'll be back right on time. I've got 2 calls back to back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down some floor plans with you guys on some pad splits, and then I'll talk about how you guys can get into my office. And then tomorrow I'm going to name my next Maddie, my next person. The thing that's going to be different than the Maddie lived in Arizona. I'm going to select somebody that lives outside of Arizona, and I will move to their city for a week. I'll sleep in a car outside of their house, whatever I got to do. And I'm going to go and help. If you want a challenge, come to me. Bro, I helped a homeless person out of a homeless shelter. There's no challenge I can't solve, my friend. Please believe me. There's no way that you were in a worse situation than this lady that I just helped. So I'm heading out to the meetup. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys back here.